right now.
Hey, we're live.
How's it going?
Pretty good. So my name is Bannable Harka, one-time YouTuber, I swear, for Lurkana. And I guess we're here for, I don't know which week, a week of the ICL on Friday night.
Yeah, I am Judge Phil or IEE Phil. And Bannable, I gotta say, man, I've been a fan of yours since the OG first chapter stuff that you put out back
Jen,
in the day.
can you turn your
Yeah, it was a
channel
while
off for
ago.
me?
Had a lot of fun. It's harder to make content now.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
Actually,
No
I'll be
Pixel
moving
Born.
us up to the live. So
But we have Pixel Born Connect, which is what we're gonna run ICL under today. So
We do.
cool.
So right now we're just getting the teams ready for you, and once they're ready to go, we'll pop them up on the screen and get
Didn't
going.
realize my mic was live as well. Let me know if there's any sound issues, chat.
Looks like round one's going to be a pretty traditional Ruby Amethyst deck versus a pretty traditional Diggy Hole deck or Seven Dwarves Mine deck. Amber Steel, and the Amber Steel deck has 4 Kitas. I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting about the Ruby Amethyst deck. 3 Library, 10 1-drops, 3 Flynn. Otherwise,
Seems pretty standard. I mean, it still has a lot of the protection package. It's got the Elsas.
for sure, yeah.
It's got the ladies in red. You know.
A couple, yeah. You got to pick numbers for some of these cards, but it's all
Oh yeah.
nothing super bizarre.
It feels balanced into a meta where they're not sure what they're playing, not just a red-blue meta, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right. Like Ed in North American Continentals got to play. What did he play? Forley, Tremaine, or something?
Yeah, no Maui's, that kind of stuff.
No Maui's. I guess one thing to note about the red purple deck is there is no genie. That's probably the.
I've seen a lot of red purples and purple in general just kind of shift away from genie because I think they value just rabbits now. Like they remember, hey, we need draws, and if people answer genie, we don't get the infinite draw combos.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting because at the beginning of the format, everyone was playing Rabbit. I think the consensus was that Rabbit was better than Genie before anyone had played any games. And then there was kind of a Genie renaissance where people found the Genie and quickly decided that hey, this might actually be better than Rabbit. Certainly, as an aggressive threat, it's better than Rabbit. But yeah, now it definitely seems like we're shifting back toward
a little bit more control.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't have Luke in my ear, which means I must be.
Just a minute.
All right, we got a vamp. I don't know how to vamp. But...
That's good. What are you up to nowadays?
Not much. Working.
Working.
Got my son turns 3 in about a month, so.
Oh, fun.
Less than like 2 weeks. Yeah. So we've got that going on.
3's a good age. My daughter just turned 5 a few months ago, and my son will be just about 8 months in a few weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And this weird. You're gonna hear once they get back home. You're gonna hear some crying in the background.
Yeah. Well, it won't bother me. I'm used to it at this point. So.
But no Australia for you?
No, too expensive. I mean, I consider
Sure.
look to flights, but it's like, probably it'd be $2,500, $3,000 trip bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, to me, I could go to 2.5, 3 North American DLCs for that price probably. So.
Oh yeah.
Just economically didn't really make a lot of sense. So, no, we'll stay home, and plan to go to more of them here stateside, I think.
I mean, whenever they are, though. I mean, by the time that we get new announcements, maybe you could have gone to the Australia and then recouped the money to go to any NA ones, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I was really, really hoping that they would announce more DLCs. I really wish there were DLCs between Seattle and now. It's kind of crazy that we're gonna have a whole set.
But it's a good thing, though. I think it's a good thing that they're taking this small break to figure out what they want to do, figure out the format that they want to continue with for the 2025 season, get their version of Melee up, get that situated. So, it's good things to come. It's a little bit hard of a break, but I think the game will survive and keep going.
Yeah, I think the one thing a lot of people, myself included, just wish we had some inkling of when things were coming back so we can plan or get the hype going. Okay, it looks like we've got our cameras up and rolling.
Yep.
So I believe Jeff Jones on the right, assuming the names are correct, is our Diggy Diggy Hole player. And on the left, then Freddie will be the Ruby Amethyst player.
I think it's different. I think the left is supposed to be. Yeah, there we go.
You know, why try? Why try? You'll never get it. Okay, so probably Diggy Diggy Hole on the left then, and Ruby Amethyst on the right. Players shuffling up for game one. I believe we've switched to timed rounds, right? So it looks like the players are going to have 1 hour
to
finish their match.
We decided to go with a standard 55 minutes, which is, what the base is, but we added the 5 minutes just because we understand that they're going on webcams. They have to interface with Pixelborn, so it's a little bit different. Just wanted to make sure everyone feels comfortable. 60-minute rounds is where we went with.
And okay, so Phil, you've done some judging. I guess have you judged the DLC?
Yeah, so I judged Atlanta, I judged Seattle, I judged Vegas, and I judged the NACCs. It was really funny. One of the first times I met you, and I didn't really meet you, but I was so starstruck. You were coming down an escalator. If you remember Atlanta, we had to go down those long escalators down to the basement, right?
Yep.
You were coming down the escalator. I was going up, and I was just like, "Here's Bannable. I'm just gonna say hi." So I said hi sheepishly as you passed by. And that's I was like, oh man, it was like meeting a star. It was really fun back then. But yeah. Now I'm a little bit more used to it. It's fun to just be in the presence of such top players all the time now. Just talking to you guys, listening to your thoughts, watching your guys' game.
Yeah, being around top players and me is pretty cool.
And you.
That's how I feel on my team. I'm like, oh god, everyone's so good, and I'm there too. It's great.
Don't forget chat. He made the deck that I won a DLC with.
Oh, see,
I like to take the credit, but I did just take traditional green steel and cut 2 cards and add 1 muses and 1 dock. It was hardly deep innovation.
But those 2 cards won him the game. Won him DLC. That's really where it was, right?
Yeah. I'll take whatever credit you want to give me, but I really didn't do much. All right. Looks like we're about ready to get going here on game 1.
Yeah. Well, we started. There we go. Pete, Cindy, just showing off the colors immediately. Not that you can do much with Cinderella on board.
Yeah, it's interesting. Playing against Cinderella is always tough.
Inking a Pete early though can be a little scary if you don't know what you're playing into.
That's true, but it's also one of your less consistent cards. Freddie choosing not to play a 1-drop, possibly by choice. Sometimes walking the 1-drops that aren't Diablo into a Storm Rage on is an unnecessary risk.
Yeah, not giving him any value, not giving him the extra card draw. Take a lore, that's fine.
There's just there's not a lot good to do on turn 2 or turn 3 then if you don't get a 1-drop in play. So
yeah, it could be a double 1-drop here to get into the board.
Yeah, it's one of the better ways to get around this because you want to enable Fox, but it's not like Flynn sticks around much better than your 1-drops.
Right. I mean, if he just plays Flynn, that's really bad at this point.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Friends 8. Here's a 1. Log, and here's the double 1-drop.
Yep. All right, so we're pseudo protected against a Storm Rage on here. Now the problem is, of course, if Jeff has 2, he could just hardcast 1.
I feel like that loses the tempo so much though if he does it.
It does. It does for sure, but
surprised he went for killing the. Oh no, he does. He did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Okay, well, that's hard then.
It's a huge card advantage play, right? I mean, you're up.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like that. You're already ahead on board, so you're not playing a wheel in the diggy hole deck, so the card advantage matters a lot more than it traditionally would in Steel Song.
Hmm. I mean, there's only 12 draw cards in the deck, pretty much, right? Storms, Rapunzels, Docks.
Yeah, for the most part, I think you can get some card advantage, obviously, out of the location.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we play 1-drop into Snake, which is good. Snake is a little bit stickier than a lot of the other options you have up to this point for Ruby Amethyst.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the worst matchups, I think, for a Ruby Amethyst player.
Lawrence setup. Just going to quest the Calhoun.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to quest with Calhoun there. Oftentimes, it makes sense to hold it back. The Calhoun can get 1 at any time.
Right.
It threatens to trade and get you 2 lore since you're generally the aggro deck. I think it's fine. I mean, if you want to start questing, you eventually have to trade with the 3/3 anyway. But
I think he wants to get rid of the Snake before he quests safely with Lawrence. Otherwise, the Lawrence bait is, there for Rapunzel. Rabbit.
Yeah, it's definitely slow for the Ruby Amethyst player. I guess you're not facing it on Daisy, so you've got time, which is the one upside here. I think Jeff maybe would have liked another 1-drop last turn to play in addition to his Lawrence, but takes the trade, obviously, with Snake on Calhoun. Don't want to sit there and let the Calhoun quest for nothing.
Quest in. He's not afraid to lose that Lawrence.
All right, Calhoun pick.
Definitely not afraid to lose that Lawrence with that play.
Yep. So Jeff, I believe, is inked 2 Peats, which means if Freddy can get to B prep before Jeff gets to a ton of lore, he's probably sitting in a pretty good spot. At this point, Freddy does not have a Sisu in place, so there's no risk of shift Sisu.
Use the Piglet.
Piglet?
That's still, I mean, unless he's doing anything else, he just gets to quest a lot with that Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't really quest with this rabbit in the face of Calhoun, so
No, for sure. I mean, even if he quested with the rabbit, like gives him the opportunity to Rapunzel value, which is
yeah. I mean, there's lots of problems, but maybe if Freddy had like a Snake, you could quest and pick up the rabbit. That would make a lot of sense. But let's not. You see.
Okay, Pluto come down. How do you feel about Pluto as a card?
It's interesting. I kind of like it. What I like about Pluto the most is that it trades for Maui if your opponent has nothing else on board. So against Blue, that is pretty decent. We don't have a ton of good bodyguards. I wish we had more of them, but I think Pluto's fine, and there's definitely situations where it's really, really strong and matchups where it's really, really strong.
Mm-hmm. I was like, someone's live, but
yeah, I can't tell. I muted everyone else on the
so
I don't know.
That's smart.
Sounded good to me. All right, so Madame Medusa comes down, takes out Calhoun.
Yeah.
Cantripping with the broom.
We're still getting to 12 lore next turn.
Yeah,
or 13 actually.
You can't get through this Pluto, so the Pluto's definitely doing work here.
But he is on 6 ink, so I mean that might be a point where he can recover a little bit.
Yeah, so
13 is not the worst to come back from.
B prep could come down next turn. Obviously, Jeff, like I mentioned, has already inked 2 Peats, so not likely to have that for protection. Although maybe. This is the point of the game where the Lady Tremaines are definitely worse than Madame Medusa's, so Like Jeff doing
You know,
stuff.
like a
Trying to think
peak
about
into
what's
singing strength or something would be really fun. Just a storm.
Okay. Just taking a look. Probably debating whether or not to quest there.
I think you have to if you're in the face of a B prep turn.
Yeah, I guess I'm with the Cindy I meant.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, so we empty the hand, play draw, dock, draw 2. Now there's a decision to make about how much more we play, and I'm guessing the answer is nothing.
Oh, I wouldn't play anything here. I think even playing the Daisy dock might have been a little aggressive, but it does put him into a turn where he has to respond with a B prep or lose.
I think if you had like a mine, you'd play the mine here, but pretty much anything
Yes.
else.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Except it's wrong because they have 6.
Yeah, I mean, mine still dies, right? Like
so that would be bad.
it dies the Medusa rabbit, and then you just preps still. But
they'll listen to me.
He's one short off of lethal on this turn. But seeing like him debating on challenge means he doesn't have the prep.
Yeah, that's
Has to kill his own Pluto there. Try to draw into prep.
one shot at it. If not, I mean, the game technically goes on, but I think Jeff's in pretty good spot. Like even a Maui is not going to do enough here, I don't think.
Number 2 off lethal.
Freddie having to think, trying to find a way back into this game. Yeah, goat's not
I
going
think the goat's. Yeah, I don't think the goat does it.
I think you're kind of like bare minimum looking at a fox or a Maui there.
Yeah. You needed the fox like 3 turns ago.
Yeah, the tough thing is like they couldn't keep any characters on board because of the Storm Ray John and the Cindy's.
Yeah, I mean he's, Jeff over here saw 3 let the Storm Ray John.
Yes.
Pretty insane off the top 15 cards.
Especially on the play. It's such an impressive card. On the draw, it's a lot worse, right? Because then Freddie would go first to have the opportunity to play a 1-drop safely, pick it up with Snake. Now the Snake can live through the Storm Ray John, but on the draw, you do not have that option.
What are your thoughts on possible set rotations in the future?
Well, I think they'll probably eventually have to do it if they're.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you lose set 2, you lose Let the Storm Rage On, Strength of Raging Fire, and Cindy, right? Like that just completely changes Steel Song.
And like every Amethyst deck.
Yeah. It does the entire bounce package. Yeah.
Yeah, I think eventually it'll have to happen. I like the idea of having some sort of eternal format where everything or nearly everything is legal, and then some sort of rotating format to keep the power level down.
We just had Star Wars just announced their own set rotations this past week. So it's just interesting to see when Lorcana might announce what sets they would rotate and when.
Yeah, different games have different philosophies on that. That's one thing where I don't really feel like I have the solution.
He's going to trade out. He's going to trade 2 things. He's going to look at still seeing 5 lore on board.
Yeah.
Did not hit the prep.
Okay, looks like a fox.
I mean,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's going to play through, which is fine, but there's no real decision to be made here.
All right. Yep. Looks like we're going to game 2. All right. So this time, Ruby Amethyst will be on the play. Makes it much, much, much easier for Freddie to get on board and start controlling things.
So Inknights takes game 1 of this match. That's a really hard matchup, though. This version, the aggro version, is just so hard for a lot of decks, especially a more control-based red-purple.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeff Jones won on Inknights. Game 1.
I think that some of the earlier versions of Red Purple with more Elsas, more Mauis actually tended to be better against decks like this. Maui being able to just threaten to take out the location or literally take out the location in one shot sort of holds that avenue down. Maui also just very, very good at challenging literally everything.
But I mean, you're right. On the play, he had Double Storm. It's just so oppressive of start.
Yeah, and it's good at that. Like that start is good into most matchups, right? The
Yeah.
only matchup where that's not good, right, is probably Red Blue, Ruby Sapphire, who just doesn't have characters to storm. Yeah, I don't. It's not like Green Steel or Green Purple or Purple Steel would have done too much better on the draw there. I don't think. All right, well, here we go. Game 2.
Purple player's going to send back what looks like 3, maybe 4.
It's funny. I never know because I do both ways. Sometimes the cards I'm mulliganing, I set down on the table, and sometimes the cards I'm keeping, I set down on the table. So it's
looks like 3.
It's always a funny little dance.
Jeff sends back 4.
All right, so Freddie's got to get this game and then get a really good hand game 2.
Maybe turn 1 broom into snake to stabilize.
Yeah, it's hoping Jeff on the plate doesn't have Cindy's maybe your best bet to win the match here. But we got to get through this game first. Looking for a good curve into possibly Fox on turn 3. I think.
I mean, even Cindy here on the draw isn't the worst thing to see, especially if you go into like a snake play or just set up more 1-drops.
For sure.
Can't kill them all on the player.
All right, here we go.
Well, there's the snake.
There's a snake.
Goes into the ink.
And pass. That is not.
No, that's not what you want to see. Cindy. Okay, now you're behind.
That's brutal. Freddie is playing 10 1-drops. It's if you're mulliganing, he did only send 3 back, right? I suspect that he should have mulliganed more cards if he had no.
If he did not have the 1-drop, for sure.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but
now we have a 1. Now Pat, that's he had to have just drawn that. Yeah.
It's unfortunate because if you'd found a 1-drop and then had the snake instead of an 18 snake on turn 1, you'd be set up way better against the Cindy. But now 1 storm is going to be crippling. Doesn't have it.
Hey, but he doesn't have it. He only has 8 songs in the deck, right? So it's not.
Yeah, strength not so bad. I wouldn't worry about my Diablo getting strength. It's storm really the scary one. But yeah, okay. I mean, keeping a character is important because now our foxes are online, our snakes are online.
But if he does have strength, he's walking into this. If he bounces it, it's just dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Diablo going 3 sets up the Sisu.
That's good. I like Sisu. I think it's really, really strong. The 4-wheel power.
Yeah, the 4-wheel power means you get to trade into this Smee, stay alive.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder to strength down as well.
Yeah,
if it have to go like 1-drop, 2-drop strength, which is
it could happen.
But
we could see a double daisy into a strength right here.
It's less likely than getting like a 3 willpower character shot down. So yeah, I like Sisu, who tends to control the board very well in the mid game here.
Got Lawrence out. Lawrence he's interesting risking the Smee. It's not the worst thing to lose right here.
Yeah, I think if you're the diggy hole player, you kind of have to do something, get a little bit aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no chance Jeff wins if he sits there and sits on his thumbs for 5 turns.
Singing Friends,
Singing
not
Friends.
trading.
Yeah. I'm not sure how many cards Jeff has in hand, but I like trading there.
Oh yeah. I think he can.
Mostly, I hate Singing Friends with Sisu, but I think it's a trap a lot of the time. There are a lot of red purple players I think that might honestly be better without friends in their deck sometimes. But yeah, maybe he needed it. Based on his earlier inks, it's very possible he needed ink there. I'm not really sure.
It's true.
But okay, we've got a rabbit, so we've got a good board. It's not like Jeff's quested for a ton. The Cindy's not been doing a whole lot.
I'm hoping he has a bounce in his hand for that rabbit.
Yeah.
I think he really needs it, especially like a fox or something to help clear it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a fox, you wouldn't have played it yet. There's not been a good fox turn,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think it's pretty likely that there's a fox there. That's the sort of card you definitely keep against these Steel Song decks.
It's interesting. I mean, like with what Jeff has, as access to, he can clean up this board still.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and Lawrence still lines up fairly well. It's not like you can use Diablo to deal 1 damage to Lawrence and then eat Lawrence with something else.
Jeff has like 5 cards in hand, so it's gonna be really hard to have anything survive against that Sisu right now.
Yeah, I think like if you could play a pile of 1-drops and then just take it with your Lawrence, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Think a Piglet. Deciding whether or not he's questing or challenging, I guess.
Yeah, it could be either. I think either is just
Challenges the Diablo. Calhoun.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna dump to get the no, not dump, but
yeah, I think
possibly has another dock in hand. Yeah, so he's gonna take 3 on the Lawrence.
Yeah, I like that play.
Yeah, it means they have to deal with Lawrence or be threatened by a Rapunzel.
Yep. The question is, do you quest with the Cinderella?
I don't think you do because Cindy into Fox he gets to take the Cindy and the Lawrence at that turn.
Yeah, so Fox would be the biggest downside. It's probably good into Maui and literally everything else. So
yeah,
I actually, if I'm Jeff, I actually maybe do quest with the Cindy and accept that I can't beat the Fox and try to beat everything else. So it's close. I definitely think it's close. But yeah, if Freddy's playing Maui here, the Maui's going into the Smee and not Cindy, so it's free. It's just the rabbit that's a problem.
I kind of feel like the dock play is signaling though that he has either some kind of draw card in his hand, whether another dock or Rapunzel.
I agree. I would guess second dock, but we'll find out. If it was Rapunzel, I think maybe you just take your 3 that turn. So, well, you can't because you have to.
No, because he had to dump the hand.
Yeah.
He had to dump the hand to get the Sisu.
Yeah, you're right.
He still has the ability to get it off of the Smee if this Fox doesn't kill the Smee.
I'm guessing it will, but it might not. So if you're worried about singing songs or trying to eat Doc and Cindy, the Fox could stay and play. But yeah, I'd be trying to turn off Rapunzel, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've been in love with Amber Steel lately, so I've been playing versions of aggressive like Diggy Hole or Steel Fossa. So I can just see like the best case scenario is like if he doesn't kill that's me, he's gonna Rapunzel, find strength, still kill the Fox.
Yeah.
Just
now, I'm putting Jeff on
no.
I'm putting Jeff on no Rapunzel because if you have Rapunzel, I'm definitely questioning with Cindy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I want the challenge to Cindy at that point.
Yeah. But Freddy on 7 cards in hand. I mean, he has a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff down to
Can't
3
play.
right now.
I think Freddie successfully navigated the early game without
Yeah.
falling too far behind. He's gonna need a sweeper.
Oh, see, there was a Rapunzel. See, just
That's interesting. It may have come off the top. You never know.
Yeah.
The second
But
dot. Yeah.
we knew he had some kind of draw in his hand.
Yeah.
Now he just goes out, tries to get as much lore as he can. Next turn is probably going to be, has to be like a Maui or Medusa just to help slow this down into the prep.
Yeah, you can't take a turn off because if you do, you'll get crushed by the Pete. Yeah. This is where it would be nice to have the Sisu in play. You could threaten like Shift Sisu, although it's not amazing here. Since he can't take out Calhoun and
But if he gets a Medusa out, he can kill the Smee. He gets to slow down any questing they do.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably the best play available.
6. Which lady is it? Medusa. Has to target Smee.
Still 4 lore worth of pressure in play.
Yeah.
Going up to 9.
Oh, we're going on to turn 6. This could have been a lot worse for an aggro deck, right? You could have been staring down at 14 lore at this point.
For sure. The tricky thing, though, is that Jeff's in a tight spot where Freddy doesn't actually need a B prep to beat this board currently.
No.
Like one Maui does a whole lot of work because none of these threats quest for 2.
Oh.
Yes, you have to make a decision now about how much to play into B prep, and if you don't play into the B prep, you might lose to other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a Maui here would be very, very strong. You'd only have 3 lore left worth of pressure in play, and the Maui sticks around.
One of those, like, if he decided not to commit anything, he should have just hard casted that strength just to get the extra lore.
Yeah, true.
The prep.
There's the B prep. Looks like Jeff has 2 cards in hand to rebuild with. Probably hoping one is dock.
Well, we've seen 2, so
yeah, it's not necessarily likely, but I'm sure that's the hope.
That's not bad.
No, it's
that's
not
still
bad
good line. Maui still takes care of it, slows him down a bit. I still think Freddy has 7 cards in hand, so
I believe it.
It's a lot of options. Oh, there's a rabbit. It's definitely scary from Jeff's side of the board right now. If you can't find another dock or some kind of way to draw more cards, it's a slow crawl of death.
Yeah, 8 is not. It's not the lore total you want to be at when you're trying to inch your way to the finish. But it looks like we're going to be going up to 11. Okay. Churn box followers, but that can just be shot down by the mine.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking for
Jeff
dots.
draws.
I think Jeff's up to 2 cards in hand, so not a ton of options, but the mine does allow for some flexibility.
Mm-hmm. He's not immediately moving the Lawrence. He has some other plays he's starting thinking of.
I think, it's a good habit to think through your whole turn before you start doing stuff. So I don't necessarily think that means anything. Last thing you want to do is sort of autopilot into spending 2 ink and then be like, wait, I wish I had one more. All right, singing Storm Rage on.
On himself. Oh, he's got a Rapunzel. Okay,
Yeah.
he's got a Rapunzel. Or he's praying for a Rapunzel. No, there it is. Okay.
That would be. I don't know about praying. That would be a crazy.
Hail Mary.
Like, I don't have it. Let me see if I can pop that getting one.
He still hasn't inked, so he can still afford an inked move just to shoot down the Chernobog.
Mm-hmm.
With a happy.
Happy. Deciding that the Chernobog not that important right now.
It's fair, but that Chernobog's going to disable the Lawrence, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it does allow you to disable Lawrence, and then obviously take it out with the Snake. It's tricky though when you're Jeff. You're so low on resources that you don't necessarily want to ink anything else.
Obviously, replay the rabbit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just keep drawing cards. Why not?
That's all the answers in your hand. That's what they're there for. Grab play.
Mm-hmm.
One shot the Lawrence.
Makes sense to me.
Decide to put 3 damage on the mine.
You could. You might want to leave it back though, with the Rapunzel there.
That's fair. Rapunzel would be pretty insane.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the best play is, honestly, myself, but we go for 3 damage on the mine. And we do know that we've already seen 2 Rapunzels, so it's
okay. Well, he protects from a Rapunzel play by bouncing that back.
Yep. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's nice that you've got 2 characters in play that threaten the mine. Mm-hmm. If you can bounce that crab, you can do a lot of damage. Probably one-shot the Rapunzel. Happy can't move to the mine and take out anything on board currently. It's like a pretty good spot for Freddy, I think.
I think he's established control. He just needs to get through this Rapunzel, and I think he'll be feeling okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of pressure of his own in play, nor a lot of lore. It's like one thing that Genie does well is it helps you turn the corner really quickly. Obviously, Freddy has no Genies in his list.
When you've established control with 7 cards in hand, I think you're okay.
Yeah, but God, like things like Lawrence start coming down, and you're like, wow, I can't brawl that, I can't Sisu that, I can't Medusa that.
Strength play. Oh, crap, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Quest for another 3 puts them in a predicament where they need a fox now to really help turn this.
Yeah, the fact that the characters in play can't take out the location and all the characters makes it reasonably possible for Jeff to this one. But yeah,
that's hard.
Is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, he just says, let's go next. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I wasn't sure. How many is Jeff, or is Freddy only playing the 1 CC?
Yeah, it's just 1 CC. He's on 4 preps.
You think?
So he's got a lot of sweepers, but just the 1 CC, which is pretty good that he got it off there. But I mean, he saw the rabbit bounce so many times.
He drew off his deck, so
yeah. If I learned anything about playing red purple, which was one of my favorite decks in the last set, just whoever can bounce rabbits the most wins the game. That's really where it goes.
It's true a lot of the time. Yes. If you're not careful, you can fall behind on tempo.
Oh yeah.
Get yourself caught this way. And actually, in this set,
is a lot harder.
If you're spending time bouncing rabbits and your opponent's like playing just like Genie, you're gonna not have a good time.
Triple Daisy, you can bounce rabbits all day long. It's fine.
All right, so Freddie for, I believe, Freedom Gaming takes down game 2 of our first match tonight.
It was Illumineer or
Do I have them backwards? I don't know what the teams are.
no, you're okay. The Illuminati. Sorry, there we go. Illuminati. Is, who Freddie is playing for. So right now, the score is 1-2 Inknights with Jeff Jones and 1-2 Illuminati with Freddie.
See, that's why professionals like Phil here.
Have to be a judge, right? It's the details we have to get.
Yeah, that's why you're a judge and I'm a bum. What's your weirdest judge call?
Oh man. So this is okay. I was slightly a part of Vegas, which on the Friday we had the competitive constructed event, and it was the starting event, right? So it's like the first one that fired or launched. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we can't use fired in Lorcana. It's the first one that launched. Round 5 ends, and I have. Since Vegas, I've been always trying to mentor judges. I'm trying to bring up other judges and make sure we have the best judges available. So I had a judge sit on the table, and I'm helping with the end of round stuff. And we get to the point where turns have finished now, and the judges on the table ask, "Well, who won game 1?" And both players raise their hand and say, "I did."
Oh no!
And it just becomes a 40-minute judge call where now I have to bring in I'm bringing in our deputy head judges and stuff, and it was a long delay where the second event that launched that day finished before ours. Like all of a sudden we were a round ahead and now we're 2 rounds behind because of this delay, and it was just insane.
Wow, both players missing 1-drops this game. That's kind of crazy.
We got into it. He's on the SME, which is a good start though, but missing a 1 on the play. It's pretty rough when you're the aggro deck.
Someone's got to check Freddie's list. Is he playing those 1-drops he said he was playing?
Oh, there's only 8, right? Oh wait, does he have more? 10. Oh, Freddie, yeah.
Yeah, Freddie's passed on turn 1 all 3 games. He's got 10 in there.
See the Flynn come down. I wonder if it's worth, like, if he has the Let the Storm Reach on, is it worth it to just finish it now or wait for the CC to be also shown?
I mean, it really depends. I like the idea of playing a threat. I think that Freddie's probably going to trade the 2-drop for the SME. That Flynn's probably not going to do a lot of work for him. So I think it's fine. Trade 1 for 1 with your 2-drop. Play another 3-drop here.
Show me a Lawrence, right? Like that's what we want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And Jeff could pass.
I wouldn't pass here. Oh, he did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I would get greedy.
I mean, I probably would too. It's not really greedy. I think you're just like accepting the trade of Flynn.
Yeah.
And SME.
It might be greedy if he's like trying to use the Lawrence to sing.
Yeah.
Sisu.
Yeah.
But now the Lawrence singing is not bad. Just Sisu just trades.
The problem is that like now you can't really quest with SME anymore, and also now the Flynn might be gaining lore. Whereas if you forced the trade, at the very least, the Flynn wouldn't be threatening to gain lore here.
It is a big decision point where he's going to go.
I mean, if you're Freddie, you're pretty happy about the way this game has started, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of what you want to see when you're on the draw.
I mean, the fact that he missed the 1 for Jeff is just pretty, very significant when you also miss a 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your top end is much better than his.
For sure, yeah. I mean, the Steel Song players, the Diggy Hole players, really, really want to be curving out.
Okay, we're just going wide. We're seeing the strength.
Oh, love that.
Now we quest.
That's a huge turn for Jeff. Huge turn.
Yeah. Especially like a Lilo is such a good quester in this matchup too, because it's so sticky.
Yeah, and you're not weak. You're not weak to Fox here, right?
Mhm.
Maui can't come down, which would be a great play, obviously, but Freddy can't make it. He's only got 4 ink this turn. And so you're not really super weak to anything. You know, Fox could trade with Lawrence, but if you don't have a 1-drop, then you have to pick up the Flynn. Flynn can trade with Smee, but then the Lawrence is going to stick around unless, again, the 1-drop Fox play is available, which is probably Freddy's best play. But even that's not that bad. And you've got a Lilo and Calhoun. Getting the Lilo out there is nice because you've got it for late game reach.
Yep. Take care of it now. It's still gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
And if that last card in Jeff's hand is another draw card, like a Doc or a Rapunzel, he's just gonna be sitting pretty.
He might be in trouble if it's not, but yes.
Yeah. But with the board, I think he's okay. He's just gonna turn everything sideways. Oof.
That's
not what you want to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God. Even playing rabbit's better than that.
Yeah. I hope it's ink 1-drop at least now.
Yep. I think it has to be.
Has to kill this. He has to trade this to me here.
Like ink Chernobog flowers, at least Chernobog threatens the Lilo or something, you know. Yeah, hardcast friends. Not ideal.
Oh, pass. Another 5 lore just for free.
Yeah.
Next turn is like a Maui or something like that.
Yeah, you're hoping Jeff is gassed out if you're Freddy. If there's a dock, it's gonna be bad, I think. Okay, no dock though.
Doc. I think he's holding. I mean, I don't know what he's holding, but that's not it. The commit's okay right there. Like even if it's a Maui here.
Yep. It's a Maui.
What does it really get rid of? It gets
probably Lawrence if it's Maui.
I think it has to be Lilo. Oh, it's not. It's neither. So now it's just Lilo. Sure.
Yeah, the awkward thing about getting rid of Lilo is that Jeff only has 1 card in hand. It's actually not that big of a cost to just bring it back.
Yeah, my thought process is if he gets rid of Lawrence, Calhoun gets to eat it. Lilo is still questing. If he gets rid of Lilo, then the Calhoun can't eat the Maui.
Chooses not to bring back Lilo, which makes me wonder what's in his hand. I'm guessing not a 1 or a 2-drop.
Oh, it was a Rapunzel. He had the draw.
There you go. That makes sense then for not bringing back Lilo.
I mean, he only had 1 card in hand though, so that was like kind of interesting not to bring it back on the off chance he drew a song. I guess.
I think. Well, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the card was. Like, if he was holding the Storm, it makes a lot more sense.
Sure. Yeah. If it was Storm, then he drew into. But yeah, it's one of those. It's a gamble on what you draw off the top there.
Yep.
For 1, deciding on the Smee. I don't see why not.
Okay, still no threat of Be Prepared yet. No Sisu in place, so no Shift Sisu available.
Pass there. Next turn, the Lilo comes back just to.
I would guess so. It would take a pretty specific hand for me to not be taking Lilo back.
But Jeff's list, I don't think he goes over really anything that costs 4. I think the highest is the. Oh no, we have the Kitas, so it's possible.
Oh yeah. The 4 Kitas. But even so, you can just bring Lilo back, and you can bring
Fox
if you
play.
draw Nikita, you can play Kita later.
Lose the Lawrence here.
Yeah, Fox is a good play, but you're still going to be left with very little in play. That's the trouble.
He's still questing for 4 next turn, right?
Mm-hmm. It's not like Freddy's built up a board. You know, he's just trading his cards away, picking them up.
If he doesn't ink here, he's not threatening B prep. I think
I'm guessing Freddy's best play is like Ink Sisu.
that's he inked Sisu, all right.
Ink Sisu Hardcast Friends. Okay. I don't like that, but I would Ink Friends play Sisu. I mean, you're signaling you have B prep, but yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're committing to the B prep line, but Jeff now knows 100%.
Yeah, bring back Lilo, just force it out.
There's no chance that Freddy doesn't have B prep. You'd never make that play.
Oh, the Pete comes down.
That's the problem with not playing the Sisu is you can't beat Pete ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, we know Freddy has it, but it doesn't matter because he can't play it. Yeah, I don't know. You can take a look all you want, but I think this one's over.
Is there a ramp card into like a free ink into Big Sisu?
I assume the best play is like Ink 1-drop Fox, but even that's going to leave lethal in play. I don't think there's an out. Yeah. There's just like, if you play the Sisu last turn, there's just a lot of things that could happen here. Right now, you could shift Sisu, you could trade for more things.
I thought there was the Elsa, but yeah, it's just Maui's just going to take out the Rapunzel probably here.
Yeah, it's just not enough. Hardcasting Friends, really, really not what you want to do against
for sure
an aggressive deck. Freddy had to make the play twice this game, and I think it definitely cost him.
Yeah, if he inked the Friends and played like the Sisu, then he has different outs, obviously.
Right, like if you just play the Sisu and then you top deck the big Sisu, then you can remove everything except the Pete this turn, and you're in the game. But that wasn't even an option. Yeah, I think it's over.
He doesn't have lethal yet, but the writing's on the wall.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he gets a song to tickle the Maui. And yeah.
Oh no, he doesn't because he can't. Maui is 3. Yeah, so any damage on the Maui would do it. But like the problem.
Oh, another Pete. Okay. Oh no, not like this. Yeah.
The problem is like Lilo comes back and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
You have to answer Lilo every single turn for the rest of the game. So B prep never saves you anymore. Like even if he doesn't have Pete there, the problem with B prep is that you just bring the Lilo back.
So Inknights takes match 1, 2-1. It was a very controlled showing from the Amber Steel player, Jeff. Those Pete's came out at the right time. I mean, and he drew into them. He was on one card.
For sure.
Like 30 minutes.
Good games. Good games.
Yeah, good. It was Fred, right?
Yeah.
All right, it was nice to meet you, man, and good games.
You too. GG's.
Good luck to the rest of your team, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Same to you.
Yeah, so how did you guys feel about those games? I mean, those were really fun to watch.
The first 2 were fun. The third one was very lackluster.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw you miss your 1-drops, Freddie.
Yeah, not looking great.
I mean, you saw me miss my 1-drops too, guys. Let's keep everybody in the mix here.
That's true. In game 3, you both missed your 1-drops, but Freddy didn't play a 1-drop on turn 1 the whole match. Which
Yep.
I mean, It's tough in part because like sometimes when your opponent is the Cindy play, you don't even want to play the 1-drop if it's not Diablo. So that's understandable.
Yeah. Like he had it in game 1, but I just had the Cindy, so he had to wait until turn 2. Like
Yeah.
he actually missed. He intentionally missed it.
Correct.
It was definitely hard when he went Sing into just disable it again with a hard cast. Game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game 3, looking at it from Freddy's side, we're like, okay, our Steel Strike opponent plays nothing on turn 1. If we have a 1-drop, we're sitting pretty. Then no 1-drop, and then you played a 1-drop on turn 2, and you like hard cast a Friends on turn 3 or something. Maybe it was turn 4, I can't remember. But
turn 4, I hard casted it.
Yeah,
I missed the one. I drew the 1-drop off the draw on turn 2.
Yeah.
My opening hand was B prep, big Sisu, and what was it? What did I ink? I forgot what I inked, but it wasn't great. It was 3 or 4 uninkables, no 1-drop into a Flynn, 3-drop Sisu, and a Friends.
Yeah, it's definitely a brutally slow hand. It's not what you're looking for.
No, it wasn't great, and then Pete just locks it up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was obvious you had to be prep, right? Because otherwise you play this Sisu for sure. So
yeah,
it's interesting that you say you had the big Sisu. I actually like the idea of playing the Sisu instead of the Friends on that second to last turn, because then if your opponent plays the Pete, you can shift the big Sisu, take out everything except the Pete, and you're actually in the game, which is interesting. But yeah, it's tough, and the Pete's just lock you out.
Yeah, not my normal deck that I run. Tried to figure it out before this because we can't play the same decks. So
yeah,
a little bit of the restrictions just to keep you guys playing a little bit of variety, spice of play.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I like it. It's something that I don't normally play, so learn it a little bit better.
Yeah, it's funny because Ruby Amethyst was my go-to since pretty much the beginning of the game up until DeCandio came up with this monstrosity.
Yep, that thing goes fast.
Definitely.
All right, well, thank you both. It was a pleasure to watch, and good luck to both your teams in the next couple matches here. Hopefully we get a close one.
Yes.
GG's, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having.
All right. Who's tagging in? Am I sticking around? Phil, unmute yourself in video. Hey, we're back, folks. Thanks for sticking through us with the technical difficulties.
Who's up next? Luke. Oh, sure. Go ahead, Vanable.
All right. Well, it was fun. It was a pleasure. I'm not the greatest caster in the world, but it's always fun to come out. It's nice to meet you, Phil.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this was my first time, so thank you guys for having me. I was I actually gonna go back behind the scenes now and continue judging for the rest of these matches. So
right.
I still get to sit around and watch.
All right, well, we'll sign off. Maybe I'll join you in the chat over on Twitch after I.
Ben, where can they find you? Where can they find you online right now?
Oh, good, nowhere. You can find me on Twitter, on X at Bannable Harka. You can sub to my YouTube channel, which is Bannable Harka as well. But I haven't posted there in a while. Although I'm hoping to get some stuff going back on my YouTube channel here.
Let's get some stuff up. Get a Metafy out. Let's get some fun content. And guys, you guys can find me at IE_Phil on X, Instagram, and then Judge Phil on Blue Sky.
All right.
What's up, guys? Have a good night.
All right, everybody. This is the voice behind the scenes that everyone always talks about. I'm about to give you 2 new people. let's first introduce the one, the only JDZ Quests.
Oh, hey, where we at? I'm back. We're back. We're back. We're in the building on a Friday. But I'm not alone. With me, I have none other. Get those hands together for the handsome, the hunkable, the uncrackable, Mr. Habibi. Yo, Habibi.
Hello.
How you feeling, big dog, out here on this Friday, fresh off of your victory? ETB's finest is back at it again in the booth.
That's it.
Boo.
I enjoyed it so much I had to come back.
Let's go. And you're upping
this time from the skies, watching down on the players.
I like it.
It's like Gladiator 3 right now.
Let me tell you, it's much more difficult to be in the arena than in the box watching down from the arena.
Yeah, so we get to watch him like, oh, why didn't he play this? And he's looking at their hands with nothing to play.
You know what? Oh, you can just call him. You can talk all the crap you want, man. But it's good to do this with you. I'm excited for it. It's Friday. Okay, everyone's feeling good. We got a high profile DLC taking place in the Down Under. So go ahead and take a break from that. Lock in with us and let's see if we can get some ICL action underway. We got a nice one coming up. Lorcana
excited for this matchup
versus Illogic, match number 2. Let's see who's gonna get the dub, man. I think I'm looking at these decks and they look pretty cool. I think the players are still kind of getting their stuff situated before they can lock in. But you've seen the decks as well. I don't want to give too much information about these decks, but I think we're gonna have a good matchup. What do you think about this matchup coming up?
It's fun, man. This is one that you see at every locals. I won't spoil the colors, but you'll see at every locals. It's not gonna be a landslide either way. It's gonna be grindy and it's gonna be a fun watch.
That's always a fun one. Those are always the best ones when they can just get a chance to demonstrate your skill. The game's not going to be over within the first 5 or 6 turns. It's going to go deep, but I think the player's going to have to execute their plan and put something together, make the best of it. So I'm absolutely looking forward to it. But for you, Habibi, fresh off your dub, are you getting back active this weekend? Are you playing any more store set championships this weekend?
You got a 1K tomorrow.
You got a 1K?
Yeah, nothing crazy. Just the 1K with that's doing like their normal set champs with the event. So looking forward to doing that.
Nice.
Playing a lot of Pixelborn Connect now. I got this really janky, sketchy camera in the background.
Okay.
So trying to figure out how to make that work, but it's been a fun time. I've been trying to stream that.
I've been playing on Pixelborn Connect for a while now. It's actually a really good time. I prefer it over a lot of things that we could be doing. I'm not going to say any other alternate ways you could be playing Lorcana online, but they don't exist. But I prefer this, man. I love that human interaction. I think that is one of the biggest parts that attracted me to this game. Is like
conversation piece is really nice.
That little 2 minutes before the game and the 2 minutes after the game, it's really cool. And
or if you're just like me or JDZ, you probably talk to the guy the whole time anyway. So
yeah, it's still fun. I talk. I get in there and chat. People probably don't want to hear it too much. They're like, dude, I wish this guy would stop talking to me. But now, when you're in the dojo, when you're locked in with JDZ on the Pixelborn Connect, you're going to have a conversation.
You're gonna have a conversation.
We're gonna talk a bit, okay?
We're singing songs and we're just talking.
We're gonna get our game on, okay? And then we're gonna chit chat for a bit, and then we're gonna play, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes, and then we're gonna get up out of there, man. So I think it's gonna be nice. So we're still kind of just standing by, handling some technical issues before we get this bad boy underway. I think they just want to they're trying to catch the last round of the DLC going down. But if you're tuned into the DLC, I think that's really cool. They had 511 participants in that tournament.
It's Jen's playing, Lorcana Mama and Gabe is playing. I had the wrong name, so you might have the wrong deck list. I'll get that resent to Habibi. Just keep talking.
Oh yeah, I think the event, people are saying like, oh, 500 maybe isn't that much, man. But I would say that is actually, in my opinion, I think that's a pretty big success because they haven't been playing for nearly as long as we have. And they haven't had the opportunity to have the cards for as long. And I know there were some issues with shipments and tracking, man, but I wish I could have been there, man. The DLC vibe, there's something to it.
I was this close to going, and then I took one look at that plane ride. And I'm like, 21 hours?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. It was a twofold for me. One, I'm a brokey. Okay, we're broke out here, BB. We talked about this before. Your deck, you could probably sold 2 cards and bought a first class plane ticket to the event and back, and had your whole lobster.
You have a foil Japanese Rapunzel. I don't want to hear from you. You're like, you flexed on me last stream. I don't want to.
You know,
I saw you polishing it in the side. Or in the booth.
I'm just doing a little bit of sleeve maintenance. Okay, I got to clean my sleeves a little bit for my own store set championship tomorrow. But that is a twofold thing. I'm not about to pay, my life savings to get over there and then sit in that tube for 21 hours. I'm coming from Seattle,
and then lose 0-3,
and then get cooked. And then get cooked. I'd feel so devastated.
That would be brutal. That'd be brutal. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I can spend more time on the plane ride there and back than in the DLC. That's a little bit too much for me. And to each their own, man. I know Kendall from Labyrinth is there.
But he's strong. Kendall's strong. Kendall's strong. Kendall can bet on himself and probably come out on top more often than not. But me, I'm getting fried, and that's gonna be the saddest 21 hours. I'm gonna be out there taking a vision walk with the dingoes or something. I don't know what I'm doing out there. Yeah. Kangaroos. I don't know. Go see I don't know what I can do, but that's just too.
I get motion sickness. So can you imagine a 20-something hour flight, 4 hours, and throwing up by the end of the flight? 21 hours? Can't sleep through that.
No, dude. Oh my goodness.
I wonder how the plane rides are there. It's probably really professional setup. Or maybe it's still like this the whole time.
No, it'll be me on the cheapest flight. I'm flying on Spirit to Australia. I'm getting nothing. I'm flying Frontier to Australia, and I'm just getting absolutely.
You got two people with elbow problems just going like this the whole time.
21 hours. They throw you a peanut and a mint, dude, and there you go. And you got to pay $30 for a bag of peanuts, dude. Good luck.
$30 to drink water.
There you go. Toilet water, probably. It's blue and it's got. Sorry, that's gross. Okay, but that'll be my experience.
You open the window, you grab it from a cloud, and you keep going.
Yeah, that's it. But it looks like, Habibi, it looks like we have the issues underway. I believe we got it all resolved. Again, shout out to Wonderland, as always, in the back room, getting active on the computer. You can just hear the click clacking and the orchestrating. He's really making this thing happen. This ICL will not be denied as long as Wonderland is at the helm. So I believe we're going to be underway soon. And I think it is correct. I believe we got Illogic versus the Lorcana Mama. If that's the wrong matchup, I think I that's the information that I have one left. You can just let me know that's correct, and we can get this bad boy rocking and rolling.
Yep, we should be good.
We are good to go. Okay. So let's go ahead and lock in and let's pump up the jams as we are about to get this bad boy underway. We have the Illuminati versus the Inknights, or is it the Inknights? No, I'm kidding. That was my joke. That was my one joke of the day. I told it and I won't tell it again. Okay, there it is. That's it. I won't tell it anymore. I told myself I'd tell the joke once.
We love you, JD.
I told myself I'd tell it once and I'll never tell it again. Okay. One more time. We're going to run that back. I don't think you guys really got the whole gist. So I said
we had an ad break. Otherwise, everyone would have reacted.
Okay. Let me run that back because I didn't get any LOLs in there from the chat there. So let's run this back one more time. We got the Illuminati versus the Inknights, or is that the Inknights?
Yeah, I think someone said LOL in the chat for you.
There you go. Okay, that was you. Oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Look it out for a brother.
Because Knights in the English language starts with a K as well. So it's a. You know what? We're gonna let it go, man. Some jokes don't mean to land. Sometimes they stick and sometimes they don't. Thank you, Freedom Gaming, Baby Joe, Wonderland out there. I do appreciate it. Betchy, let's go. I appreciate it. We're gonna lock in though. We're at 35,000 feet, flying in our own tube, taking off to lock in for some Friday night action. Dang, I love Fridays, man. Lorcana on a Friday. I think I'm gonna go to locals after this and play a little bit more Lorcana myself. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I won't. All right. So here we go. It looks like we got the shuffling, we got the cutting. I think we have randomized as well, and I believe we're going to be on our way to fire this thing off. And it looks like the Lorcana Mama is going to be on the play going first, if everything is correct.
Yeah, they usually go by the Pixelborn signs, so the one with the shadow on it.
Okay. I hope that maybe that's not it's not a conspiracy though, is it? We're making sure Pixelborn is.
I mean, we have some Illuminati, so like.
Okay, there you don't. Hey, you know what? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I'm not saying anything, but that's a very convenient name there to be out here.
I mean, whatever Illuminati is doing, it's not right because they're going second this game. So.
They're trying to throw us off the scent. Okay, it's all a conspiracy. I get it. I see it. Oh, looks like they're going first. I think he's going first there. So maybe conspiracy confirmed. As we ink the GOAT, play the Diablo coming in from Illogic, showing those purple cards. As you know, the purple cards are probably some of the best cards. Still don't understand, still don't know what the other color is. So you got to, just assume things for a while, as Lorcana Mama has kind of got on up out of there for a little while. Beautiful Bell Matt, beautiful Mickey Matt, like them both. And now let's see what the Lorcana Mama is going to do. These turn 1 plays are critical. They're pretty important. You want to hit those markers.
So the team gets to choose to be on the play in the draw based on who lost the round before.
Oh, gotcha. This just in. Is that new information? That's new.
This is new information.
Wow. So
starting this week after ETB's match, I want to preface that.
Okay, so here it is. New information for the ICL. The team that lost the previous match gets to determine who goes first in the next match. So that's kind of a cool little wrinkle. I think I enjoy that a little bit. That gives both teams the opportunity to at least have some chance to go first, unless you're just getting swept. When you do get swept, going on the draw every time, there should be a new word for that, because that might start happening a little bit more with that new rule. I don't know, maybe call it a turkey or something. Hat trick. You've been hat tricked. I don't know, there could be a name for it. We're still new, as we're going to get another 1-cost character on the board in the name of Chernobog, and we'll quest that Diablo. Lorcana Mama has the magic broom on the board, obscured
just
by that
1 drop there. So I believe the hand's not. They can't flood the board with whatever they got. Usually the go-to on turn 2, just 2 1-drops, right?
Yeah, so you were just playing the 1, so that is correct. A little bit of a down tempo play, but you did get a guy, so beggars can't be choosers, I suppose.
Yeah, getting to play something. It makes you wonder if they had access to the Chernobog Faller, because if they had that, they might have been able to quest to banish it. But hey, we have no idea what's in their hand, so looking forward to seeing the rest. So far, we've only seen purple.
Yeah, we're all this is the purple meta. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of all this purple that's going around. The games are good, and there are some opportunities to demonstrate your skill with all these purple cards. But I'm sick of it. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get up out of here. Let's get some new
purple X out here. There's some new leaked cards that will take out some of these purple decks. So
and I think the 2-color thing might be a good answer to all these purple cards, and it's just so many of them. Like it's like 40 purple cards you have to play in all these purple decks, which is a lot.
It's the recipe to how to make a meta deck. Add 40 purple cards and whatever your favorite color is. Pick one.
And make it happen. You could do it with anything. Amber, I've seen Amber do it. I've seen Ruby do it. I've seen Green obviously can do it. I've seen Steel can do it. They all can do it. Same 40, and then splash a little bit of your own pieces of flair in there to
even yellow purple is not too bad.
As we do reveal, that is green. As Go-Go is going to find her way to the inkwell. If it ain't green, it ain't green. Okay, and we play the white rose early. Look at that.
A rose is on turn 3, not the 3-drop you want to see in green purple, I would say. But
and I think you might be right. That might be telling a story about the hand of the Illogic. It might not be the most playable. You ink that goat early. You didn't really hit the 2-cost play as well as they normally do in this super tempo style deck, and you're playing the white rose so early. Maybe you're just trying to contest the board with that 3/3 stat line. I don't know.
I mean, J to Z, if we just paid attention, we would just see that his name is Emerald Weapon. So we had like a hint. We just didn't read it.
It was there. That's the Illuminati.
The conspiracy was always there. We just didn't look deep enough.
The Illuminati is always putting the bait. They put the information right in front of your eyes, and you got to solve the puzzle, dude. And there it is, right there. Emerald Weapon is a. We're
gonna figure out what the weapon stands for soon. We'll see.
We'll find out. I'm sure there might be some technology in this build as the game gets a little bit later. As the Lorcana Mama is pondering here. Keep in mind there is time, so we will have to make use of our time and ensure these plays are done in in an orderly manner, in a timely fashion, as we're staring down the one of broom, as we will also put the crab into the inkwell before exerting the broom, probably preparing to toss him right on into the bag and get a card.
A little bit of a fox bound situation here.
Mm.
You know, the purple players and their love for bouncing cards.
They absolutely got to do it. It is something that they must do, but she's just going to go for the trade here.
It's a trade, actually.
And we'll deploy the Sisu.
We see both colors now. It's red, purple, and green,
red, purple, and green, purple. I like this matchup a lot, and we spoke about that earlier in our cryptic messages. I think it's a good matchup. I think it's really funny, not funny, but I think it's usually a nice finish and a cool thing happens at some point throughout the game. So let's see if we can repeat that as we're going to go on. As Sisu is up and active, staring down this white row. That's we'll get another Chernobog into the inkwell.
Yeah, a lot of one drops in their hand. I'm sure they're wishing they had them on turn 2 and they want to flood the board, right?
Mm.
Oh, rabbit.
And
I mean, it just feels like purple versus purple so far, to be honest with you.
Like, but what we know about Lorcana is nothing's ever going to be perfect, man. We try to dream about these dream curves and these perfect lineups and these, I wish this thing could have had or do this. And it never comes that way. It always going to come kind of awkward sometimes. You just got to vibe it out. That's where the skill comes in.
There you go. We got some fans for Lorcana Mama in the chat.
Let's
Tinkerbell hyping her up.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
go. So
they're
showing off their hand. They got 5 cards. I love it when they do the dice thing. I know it's in DLCs. It's not people aren't a big fan of that, but
or putting the dice on your hand to indicate how many
cards.
Considered
note taking. Don't let the judges hear that, but it's considered note taking. Yeah.
Are you kidding? Oh, I think that's just a kind, friendly thing to do. And I think the judge actually might have stepped in and
he's note taking for your opponent.
I know. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help keep the game clean, man. Help me out.
It's really just a quick conversation, nothing serious, but something to note.
As we have this Sisu now, maybe we'll get a Flynn to go beside the Sisu. Perhaps. I don't know if that is a thing that is going to happen. I think that'll be too low of a tempo. Maybe you brawl this rabbit just to get this thing out of there before the bounces start happening.
The red purple players is like a game plan here. Their objective is definitely to just do what they've been doing, just keep trading into the board, keeping them low on lore, low on bounce potential, draw potential, and then get to that late game where the red deck just better.
100%. Just I think getting to the top end is probably the way to go. Maybe getting into these early skirmishes and board fighting. I don't want to do that versus green purple. In my experience, it just never works out. But just drag, like you said, just drag them into the late game where your Be Prepared is online, your Madame Medusas, Lady Tremaine, you have some strong cards. Maui, I think, is a tank in this matchup from time to time. And you can kind of just control the game and win from there. But
they both have access to the same like main 5 drops and the same like purple cards that are going to exert and interact with each other. So the late game difference is really just one person's trying to like flood and the other person's trying to clear, basically. Yeah. I wonder, I got to take a look at the list again, but I wonder if the locations are going to be a factor in this match.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. So tempo versus control. I think that is the name of the game. Card advantage still matters, but maybe not as much in this early entry. We're only at the 4 ink turn. But if this thing can drag out to that 8-9 ink turn, I think then Illmatic Lorcana Mama is going to be in a pretty advantageous position.
I don't think Gabe is happy at 3 lore at this point with playing the green deck, right?
No chance. I don't know if you're playing the version with the Cursed Merfolks and the Bonsais. I guess I do know that because I can literally just look at the deck, but I don't want to leak too much information about the build until those cards come alive. But yeah, you do have some aggressive options in this deck. They just are not on the field questing and doing their thing, so that's always going to be kind of rough.
Looking at these lists, we're gonna have some fun interview questions because this is not your traditional red purple and your traditional green,
it is not
green purple.
There's some spice in both of these deck lists, so that's 100%. Always cool to see, because we saw some spice in the last round in ETB. The red purple deck that was played in round 3, I believe, had some really cool cards in there that you don't typically see.
Yeah.
All right, so now the stare down commences as we will go ahead and quest the rabbit. It looks like get on up to 4 and then
shenanigans,
and we do have the bounce. So the fox might be going headlong into the Sisu to go 1 for 1 there and re-engage the rabbit for some more card draw. So your hand is looking quite healthy, and the board is looking quite contested. So you actually might be able to thwart this rabbit from freely questing unless Lurkana Mama's got some bounce to go along with it. You don't want to just give that rabbit up freely.
I like that play from Gabe, but he realizes at this stage he can't really he hasn't had the opportunity to go really fast and aggressive, so he's kind of pivoted to this like, let's fill up our hands and make sure we have the resources to go the long game.
That's great. Yeah, you don't really see that too much, huh?
Yeah,
you see the emerald amethyst player assume the control role. I think that's pretty cool.
That's it. We have a bunch of locals in our area that always get mad at me when I call them aggro decks when they play green purple. They're like, "Hey, it's a tempo. Hey, we're controller mid range." And I'm like, "All right."
Why do people get offended? Why do people get offended by aggro or playing aggro? I think it's fine.
People think aggro just means you're less skilled, but this has nothing to do with it. At the end of the day, aggro players got a lot of stuff to think about. Like what lunch they want to have after they win or lose in 20 minutes. Joking.
Oh, and we get to the 5 called Elsa, who's going to go ahead and tap down the Turner Ball. We'll get a clean plus onto the Turner Ball followers.
Nice. That's like the most ideal 5 drop probably could have seen there.
100%.
Stops the draw. It's more important than killing a Roses there.
And it's just a clean plus value that you can't answer back too easy. That card is extremely broken, by the way. I think Elsa the Fifth Spirit is insane. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully they keep printing cards like that, just kind of really busted cards that can do a lot of things. Because that card has added a lot of texture to the game as well. I think it's cool. As
it's given purple a little bit of more interaction that they very much needed. Before it was just Pinocchio, which who the hell wants to run Pinocchio, right?
I mean, it's got rush, it's got evasive, it's got effect.
I think like
triple threat. It's insane.
The people that are writing down the keywords just like slip their finger and they just
that had to
spilled a couple extra ink on it.
that had to have been a mistake. And I'm so glad that it's also on a really iconic character as well. Because I'm a nerd. I'm on the Disney side of it a little bit. How are you? What's your balance between being a player and being a Disney nerd?
I got 2 nieces that like Disney less than me. They like make fun of me. They're going to a Lorcana event. Like, oh, did you meet the Princesses Elias? I'm like, bro, you guys are like 12, bro. What's going on here?
Give me a break. And
I'm a big Disney fan. I love Mulan. I love the dragon from Mulan. I forget his name.
Mushu.
Where's our Mushu cards? God damn it!
I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make him. I think from what I gather, I think he's quite offensive to the Chinese people.
Oh, is he?
I think. I don't know. This is what I've heard. I don't know how true that is. Maybe the chat can hook us up with that information. As we do have another Fifth Spirit on Fifth Spirit Violence, we're able to tap down the rabbit, and now you're pondering if you want to go ahead and trade into that rabbit. I think clearing the rabbit is always a good thing to do.
It's
just
a
get them out of
trade.
there early.
It's bad because you're letting them draw a card, but like if they start singing, it's not a great feeling.
Yeah, and he's singing and he's getting value, but looks like we're just going to quest up and then put another hit onto the Elsa. Interesting. If he bounces this rabbit, you're going to feel, or I'm sorry, if Lorcana Mama, I should say.
Let me just say, I love that. Like this is the first like woman playing on our ICL tournament.
No, we had Clara, I believe.
Clara
on here. Yeah.
Far from it. There you go.
We had Clara. There's been
Clara.
Quite a few women on
she
here.
Did Top Cut too. She was on my stream.
I gotta work on make sure I'm being fair with my determinations or whatnot, because I don't want to be offending nobody. But we do keep the rabbit on board, and if Lorcana Mom bounces this rabbit, you might be sick, or if we sing a free friends here, I think you feel a little upset about that too. But this is a tight spot. This is
my heart's pounding for Gabe, and every time he touches that rabbit, I'm like, no.
Either it's going back to the hand, it's going on a quest, or it's about to sing a song.
Do something.
All those things are not the most cash money. As we are going to go ahead and just go on a quest, and I think that is probably the best case scenario. No, it's not, as the snake is bouncing it back onto the hand, so that feels miserable. I would say I'll just take them out when I can, because that's definitely
going to represent. What's the hand sizes here? What does that dice say? 4?
It looks. I see a 5. I see a 4 on ill logic side, and Lorcana Mama. I think it's probably around the same.
All right. So we got two full hands. So the game is far from over. It's gonna be grindy here. For sure.
Is.
Like what we predicted from the very beginning. It wasn't gonna be like a quick match. Both people have tech and they're both ready for each other. So it's gonna be a fun one here.
I like it a lot. This is one of my favorite matches to see pan out because it's about as 50-50 as you can get sometimes. And there's a lot of opportunities to demonstrate your ability to play when you play these two decks against each other.
Here.
And we do ink the Maui and we'll bring the rabbit back out. So you do get the opportunity to get a draw. That Maui does a lot of heavy lifting in his matchup too. So putting him in the inkwell might be something that comes back to haunt the Lorcana Mama. But I think getting that card was super important. And you do have the tech.
The tech is out of the bag.
The B-King Undisputed has been deployed.
I love that card in red purple. I think everyone hates on it. If you run Tremaine, you put that card in your deck first, in my opinion.
You think it's over Tremaine?
What about 100? Look at all the 4-drops we got in this deck. We got
and you can sing it too.
Rabbits.
The fact that it's a song, I think, is really neat, man.
Singable. I think it could be like the Steel Song bias kicking in right here. So I will offer a disclaimer there, but
it actually came up quite huge there.
Yep, 100%.
So now you have an issue with your own Elsa. You might. You may not, or I guess you can come in with a trade or take it out for free, but then I don't know. Let's see what we're going to do as we play another rabbit to the field for another draw. Rabbit on rabbit. I haven't seen any genies yet. It looks like Genie is in retrograde, it appears. I don't know how good Genie is these days, just because red blue is such a, but it's so good against red blue. I don't know. What do you think about Genie in this late stage meta that we find ourselves?
So Genie is actually really impactful in this like late stage, or rather on turn 4 onwards, because it allows us to have, like, we like to call it the Sky Wars, like the basic Sky Wars, where you basically play Genie and then you tap down something with an Elsa and then you just swing in, and then like all of a sudden you could have 4 damage to kill their opposing Genie. It's more so a matter of like when one person doesn't have it, like whoever plays the Genie first gets a lot of that tempo swing.
I'm talking, but that for this game, I'm talking metagamically speaking, overarching Genie. He's kind of fallen out of favor lately. Just in certain decks I've seen, in certain content I've seen being created, people have been kind of removing Genie in the late stage of our meta now. So we're getting closer and closer to set 7. I just want to hear what your thoughts are about Genie and where do you think
I think he's still a great card. I think he's more important in like decks like purple steel than like something like red purple, for example.
Okay.
Pretty much anyone that can utilize him as a singer as well as the great body that he is and the great card that he is going to enjoy the Evasive. The Evasive just basically gives him like really cool bodyguard effect, right? Yeah. Talking about like really broken keywords, Evasive is like one of the best ones besides Singer.
Oh yeah, I think Singer's OP. Singer's crazy,
but I think he is falling out in a lot of these decks. I can see it,
but we haven't seen one just yet. So maybe he'll still make an appearance. We still got a lot of game left to be played as we're going to bounce this rabbit again. So that's 3 cards total that we've gotten from this rabbit that could have been in the discard. That is going to come up. I think that's I don't know, when we had a chance to take them out, you got to take them out. I think that's something I've learned the hard way through pain and repetitions over and over again. You see a rabbit and he's vulnerable, you got to just get him out of there because he's going to do a lot of damage with all these bounce cards, as another card is going to find itself into the Lorcana Mama's hand and rabbit's back at it again. That's a 4th card that this rabbit has drawn.
There's a lot of tech in these decks. I just took a quick look at the list and I'm excited, honestly.
I know. Hopefully, I'm just hoping for that photo finish because it can be some really cool things that happen.
Yeah, a lot of really fun stuff can happen at the end of this game, man.
If it keeps dragging on, some really weird stuff can happen.
If anyone believes that they have it, then I'm not gonna lie to you. You don't have it. That's
you don't got it. Just keep rolling with it as we are getting into that critical 7 ink turn now. So I think Lorcana Mama has done a fantastic job dragging this thing into the late game. And Illmatic, I keep saying Illmatic. Oh my goodness, Illogic.
Illmatic.
I keep saying Illmatic, and then like a Nas album. My bad. Illogic has not been able to do what the deck is designed to do. Or maybe it's due to just unfortunate draws, which does happen. You just kind of eat that and just kind of keep fighting. So we're kind of getting
option here is like basically keep drawing and keep doing this like mid-rangey game. Oh, do we see a Genie? So it does exist in at least one of the decks, at least one of them.
Okay, he's here.
So either we start drawing out here, which seems like illogic choosing to do. And or we just go fast and we try to force out those B preps. But at this point, the hands are pretty full, so either line works.
And also, Illogic has kind of caught up in the lore now, so you could, in theory, just go on a race if you felt so inclined.
I'm gonna go on a prediction here and say like the winner of this match is gonna be like who ends up having the most goated bounces in their hand.
It could that could be it too. And also, we did see a Go-Go find herself down into the inkwell early on this Emerald Amethyst deck, so that could also be a factor that comes up in that late game. So
I'm sure Mama's being really careful about what she leaves with damage on her side.
Absolutely. As the rabbit bounce-a-thon continues and another rabbit gets bounced back to hand for another draw. Cards broken.
What's that? Do I see a Cricky there? Well, not Cricky. What is it?
That's
Sir
Hiss.
Sir Hiss.
That's Sir Hiss out there. Probably preparing for those Genie Wars as well. Sir Hiss is a good little tech that can kind of tackle a damaged Genie. He will trade himself, but he's pretty good
happy to do that. To play into a Flynn as well. If Mama is running Flynn, you can place that down and prevent some free lore game. We saw in the ETB's match what happens when Sisu is unanswered for 4 turns in a row.
He just goes bananas and he gets loose on you, and there you go. But you got a Sir Hiss in your deck. That could be and he's evasive as well, so he can also probably quest for some chunky lore in the early game. I think that's a vibe. Sir Hiss, bring him back. That one is a bit ridiculous though. They could have boosted him up a bit. I'm not gonna lie. That one. Every time I see
we'll keep him the same. I mean, as long as he can still die to like Storm, I'm happy.
Okay. And another rabbit is going to be deployed into the fray. So the rabbit, snake, fox, mambo. We got Merlins and we got Mims all over the place. That's a lot of Merlins and that's a lot of Mim on the fray right now from both sides. And we're contemplating what we're going to do with it, as you still have a bit of ink left. 4 more. Play another rabbit and we could just all go home. We're brawling.
Oh, that's brutal.
That hurts. Yeah, that hurts the soul. That Genie didn't get a chance to get any lore. She probably has been holding on to that brawl for quite some time now. Or
I've had really great targets so far, so
I
think that was I mean, if you wanted to brawl a Elsa, that was her best option.
All right, and we'll just go ahead and pass it back. As
we still have 5 cards in Emerald Weapons hand, so nothing crazy. I know I keep swapping out his name between Illuminati, Emerald Weapon,
Illuminati. At least you're close. As SS Trudeau says, yes, bring back Sir Hiss, a steel player. I'm sure you want to see Sir Hiss too with that one. Just blast. I think he's
Sir Hiss is amazing. Top 5 cards in the meta.
10 reasons why you should play Sir Hiss in all Emerald decks.
I think just 25 1-drops in a deck. Just do that. No problem.
No, I think you just put him in an inkwell and matches he's not good, and you can get him in the fray when he's bad, when he's pretty decent. As we get to Kit the Cloud King, we got 2 more rabbits. Oh my goodness. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. All the fog. Look at this. Is that a mirror? That's a direct reflection of each player's board. That is hilarious. That is somebody
like me when I'm trying to not copy homework for my friends.
This is just a direct reflection of each other's position, as we got quadruple rabbit and snakes and foxes all over the place.
Which I love, because a lot of the times like these matchups are I know like at my local scene, we always say like the purple matchup is who saw the most genies, who saw the most rabbits, and then that's pretty much most of the time determination who wins. But in this case, it's very dead equal so far with all the rabbits and the genies.
So we're getting into that late game, and I thought it would be favoring the Ruby Amethyst player, but it seems like the Ruby Emerald player is kind of still in a pretty good position. The boards are mirrored, so the life total is going to be, the lore total is going to be the determining factor. I can't really get a take on how many cards are in hand. It looks like Emerald Weapon and the Sisu. That's huge. Well, not that huge. It's pretty huge. And that's some of the tech coming in on the 8-cost Sisu is going to blast both of those rabbits. You will draw 2, going up to 7 in hand. And now
I think that's one of the better cards that could have been played by Lorcana Mama, because even a B prep here doesn't feel great because you're losing the tempo, right? You're basically just passing it on to Emerald Weapon and saying like it's up to you. Like you can flood the board.
Yeah, and that was pretty much a mega tempo Sisu. And if you felt so inclined, you could just trade up the rest of your board and just quest out your guys and be in a crushing position, because the green They don't have the ability to sweep back, and it looks like we're going to sing here. Sing before Sisu, just to flex on you. Just to flex a bit there. And you could have sang that first and then played the Sisu to make it seem like you drew it, but she's like, I had it the whole time and I'll sing after. No big deal.
The dominance.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Really mind blast your opponent a little bit sometimes. And
I think that Sisu kind of turned the game like significant. We kind of expected at this point with the green purple deck. They don't have those level of sweeps, especially with the board that we're looking at.
But she did not trade up. She just said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and start racing and start questing now, which I don't hate at all, because I think you got I think that's pretty fair. But you do kind of find yourself playing into Elsa the Fifth Spirit again. If there's another copy coming in from Emerald Weapon, you will be able to lose that Sisu and a little, maybe not that much tempo, but you'll lose that Sisu and kind of have a more of an even kill situation again.
To be fair, I think if you play Fifth Spirit, like, and swing and do a 1-for-1 trade with Sisu here, it's a pretty bad losing position. Like, you just lose your Fifth Spirit, you're left with like what, 2 cards in, maybe 3 cards.
You're probably tap it down and trade up the Fox maybe, and then
trade up the Fox,
and then you could.
But it doesn't really kill anything thereafter.
Yeah, you're just kind of sitting there looking like a goofball, man. But I don't know. This is a tight spot.
It is, yeah. I don't envy Illuminati's position here.
Yeah. As we will go ahead and trade up the Fox now with the rabbit, taking it down, which he could have done months ago. And that rabbit kind of went bonkers too. And then we'll also send the snake, probably go on another trade. Well, not a trade. You can clear up the you can clear the second rabbit, or unless you want to get the Fox gone. And we will do that. So the Fox is going to be traded.
Not the rabbit. Interesting.
And now for 5, we'll bounce the Fox, and then we'll probably take down the rabbit here.
Yeah.
So a little bit of Fox Mambo. Lorcana Mama does get another card.
Yeah, okay. I don't even think if they had the Elsa Spirit, they would have played it there. But I'd be curious to wonder. They have a lot of cards in their hand, so only God knows what they got in there.
So now, if you can manage to, I think if you can manage to get this Fox back to your hand again with another snake, do you have enough ink to deploy it though? I can't remember. I can't quite see how much you got left or what. But if you can manage to, if you can get it back to your hand and get it readied on the Ursula, look at that late game Ursula, get a sneak peek of the grip and see what Lorcana Mom is holding on to, and you get a rip.
They're palming those B preps. Maybe they'll find some spice.
And there is the spice.
There's the spice.
Look at that. The Pirate's Life has found its way into the main deck. Okay, that is a main deck. Pirate's Life is going to be in the hand of the Lorcana Mama. Also to be prepared. So you do have options here with the Ursula. She's getting that rip, and we're going to take the Pirate's Life. I think that might be correct.
That is definitely the right play there. All right.
What do you think about Pirate's Life in Ruby M? You don't really see that too often.
I can see it if they're running the shark, but we haven't seen a shark yet, so we don't know if they are running it. I mean, I know what they're running and not running. I just don't want to dox the list.
And we did have another Fox, and we'll elect to just bring that Ursula back to hand instead of the other Fox. I don't hate that either. And you can deploy that Ursula again next turn. Just
that
to
B prep, and then basically like let him. I think he's gonna go for like the flood the board and just say, "Hey, do you have a Sisu or you top deck a B prep?" He has a lot of ink.
I mean, do you just yeet this? I don't think you have enough ink to play another Ursula.
More so setting up for the next turn. Like how much ink is that? At this point? Is that accurate on 9 ink?
I think according to Pixelborn, it says 9, but sometimes that's not always.
That's an Ursula and like 7 1-drops.
So I mean, do you just? I mean, if you can't get it out, is it crazy to just sing the be prepared with the Sisu and then just flood now, or do you chill? I don't know if that's a good play. That can't be the play.
It's a tough one.
You're gonna lose that be prepared, like for sure next turn. And if you want to get some value out of it, maybe oh man,
it depends if Mama wants to play out her, like, use the 3 lore and gain pressure on her own. And or if she prefer to like answer first. Like the 3 lore is what it comes down to. Like, does she value the 3 lore or not?
Yeah.
We saw her hand. I would She's gonna choose to quest.
She will quest, and now you can play the Lady Tremaine that she had in hand, and that'll just kind of be a backbreaker and just lose your Be Prepared. I guess it's not that big of a deal. If your turn is play Ursula, take the Be Prepared. I think I accept that if I'm Lorcana Mama.
I don't even know if necessarily Tremaine is the play here. I think they're just gonna go for flooding the board. Oh, they had an Elsa. Did they already have that? Or did they draw that?
They could have had that. They could have drawn that for turn, but and then we got the Fox to bring the Sisu back. Look at that, and we'll play the Diablo as well. So that is a cool play by the Lorcana Mama.
Mama saying, "Take away my B prep. I don't care. I got another sweep that you can't touch."
But I mean, even keeping that Sisu on board, I think might have been good too, because that was representing the end of the game, unless you draw a series of goats and bounces or whatnot. I'm not. I mean, keeping that three lore, but maybe she's just afraid of another way to clear it.
It's the red syndrome. They love it's the purple syndrome rather. They love to bounce stuff.
Hey, once I've started playing a lot of purple this set. I never played purple before set number 6.
So much fun.
And once you start bouncing, once you pop, the fun don't stop, man. You just want to bounce, dude. It feels good.
It's everybody's like Steel Song players. They just start like ripping songs when they already have the lethal. They just want to sing songs.
It feels good. Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Blue players just ink for no reason and they draw for no reason with our Hirams, even though they have all the answers.
They love ramping and they love drawing with Hiram, dude.
It's Lorcana. People love to do things. That's why people banned Bucky, because it didn't let people do things.
Purple Steel players, they love playing Genie. Blurple players love playing Genie. That's what they want to do. They want to ramp, and they want to play Genie and eat hot Cheetos and be done, dude. There it is. As we will deploy the Ursula now, take another sneak peek. And there is that Be Prepared that's going to get ripped.
That's a pretty saucy hand, though.
Yeah, the hand is quite cash money. I think Lorcana Mama is still in a decent spot. You'll be able to jam this Sisu in if you felt so inclined. But yeah, I think leaving that Sisu on the board might have been cash money, because now you gave up your lethal threat.
I think it was the fear for the play bounce and then flooding the board, I guess. Because then the mom would have like no board sweep available to her. Especially knowing that she's gonna lose the B prep.
But is that worth leaving this 4 damage Elsa into a face of a Go-Go? Not a chance.
Definitely not. And I don't know if Elsa was the play there. Especially, I mean, maybe she forgot there was a Go-Go to exist in the first place.
Go-Go is a thing that you better be having on the frontal lobe of your mind at all time. I think that is just.
I don't think Go-Go is even enough in this situation. Like, it has to be like Go-Go. That would be crazy.
Go-Go is a real thing that can happen, and with 5 in hand, it is a distinct possibility. So if you got some bounce or a Go-Go with a bounce, you got 10 ink, man. This is dangerous.
We got 10 ink. This is
that 4. I would have had to get. You got to get that 4 out of there, man. That's dangerous.
Oh, I really want this Go-Go to just end this match right here.
A Go-Go with a bounce, and what are we talking about? Let's see if it's going to happen. Let's go. Oh, so we got Ed Lorcana in the building. North American Continental Champion says this just in. You gotta leave the Sisu in play, and I would tend to agree. You got that's 3 lore. I think you win the game.
I mean it, especially if the option is leave the Sisu in play or play out. Oh no! Don't do it to him. Don't, please, Illuminati, not like this.
Oh. But you didn't have the bounce. You didn't have the bounce.
All right.
You didn't have the bounce. Okay, so that's.
I got excited.
Okay, so you didn't have the bounce. That's good. That's good. I guess you could. You got to trade up the goat, and you're going to have to trade up the L. You got to send the Elsa into Elsa, trade up the goat into the Sisu, vibrate magnificently, and hope. Or you leave the Elsa. I think you just leave the Elsa on play and hope for you top for another Go-Go maybe, and get the Fox or get the Diablo out of there perhaps. And we will do that.
They want to trade. That's kind of scary. I mean, it's pretty much match here though.
Does she have goat? No, she has 2. Elsa on a quest for 1. Go to 19. Did she have goat in hand? I can't recall.
Did goat roses? Oh, it's.
No, I'm talking from Lorcana Mama. We did see her hand twice. I know there was a Tremaine in there. There was.
Oh, there's no goat or roses
unless she draws it right now. So she does have some cards that can reach, and she can, in theory, get the Dublinsky right here. But you're gonna have to clear up this board.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but decision is gonna happen. This has been a long match. We got 26 minutes for 2 games, so nudge. The judge should let them know so they can quicken up for the next games.
So she's gonna need the goat here, or even shift Elsa would have went crazy there if she had that. We play, and we do have the GOAT. It is not enough. Did I do bounce? Do you have the bounce? Oh, dude, you don't got the bounce. Oh no. So you did get the GOAT, but you didn't get the bounce. I did a little bit of. Oh, she was at 17. Okay, quest, go. Okay, my bad. I can't do basic mathematics. I thought she quest.
I was like, why is there a concession here if there's a B prep in the end? But it wasn't a concession. They had she had lethal.
Okay, I missed it.
Right.
Okay.
Never punished, man. The Elsa with the 4 damage, never punished.
Oh man. That could have. I knew it was going to be tight. I knew it was going to BB. We called it. That was going to be a tight, close finish, and it literally came up down to the wire. And that, if there was another bounce opportunity with that go, the game could have ended there. Or maybe if I don't know, just a couple quests, couple things could have went different. Like taking that rabbit out earlier. If Illogic had to just clean the rabbit up early, maybe that could have been a difference, because that rabbit quested. It drew like 6 additional cards after you left it in play, and then it was able to sing a song as well. I think it sang B King as well. That rabbit went crazy after you gave him his.
You kill the rabbits when you get the chance. It's it feels bad, but it's a necessary evil, unfortunately.
Just take it out. You could have got a clean plus value on it too. Well, not plus. You would have went 1 for 1 because they would have drawn, but the white rose would have remained. And I think you got to take that trade anytime it comes up. So we're going into the all-important game number 2. We're definitely
Gabe got a lot of pressure on his back. He has to carry for his team right now. Like if he loses the next game, that's it for Illuminati in terms of like the total win for the team.
But still, you have to play that last game. All these matches are critically important for the tiebreakers and for the final standing. So you can still have to grind it out. You don't want to get swept out of here. You don't want to get 0-2'd or whatever, but still got to let that water off a duck's back. Forget it happened. Short-term memory, as he just quit the game. He's like, I'm out of here. I can't deal with this.
Like, I'm done. Where the hell my belt?
I can't deal with this. I need some bounce. I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm ghost.
They're just resetting. They're just resetting their computer. They'll be back with us in a second.
Okay. So, I mean, I still think that's an incredible match. I do like this matchup because I'm telling you, most of the time it goes very similar to what we saw. It just comes down to a few who wants it bad enough. An inch or a mile. Top deck GOAT for the win. Hate to see it unless it's you one, or unless you're the one that's.
It was the top deck. We saw prior, right?
There was no GOAT name. She had to draw it.
To be fair, she had a B prep in her hand, I believe, when she showed it.
So, yeah.
I thought reset again.
I thought the B prep got ripped. It didn't get ripped by the Ursula. Unless she drew another one. I think.
Maybe I think she drew another one. At least what she threw on the table was there was a B prep. So.
And there's a Tremaine and stuff, but
still so it wasn't over, but top deck to win. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. Hey, you had it the whole time. Okay. We had it the whole time as we're just experiencing a few technological indifferences. No big deal. Okay.
Illuminati's rigging it.
Is that it?
We gotta ask him. I gotta watch the Lurkon After Dark podcast. Maybe they gave some insight onto the name. What inspired Illuminati?
That's probably what's happening. But let's see what's happening. Who's got the field report from the DLC from the Down Under? From the Down Under. Is there some cool things happening? Are there some spicy techniques? Are there any pros on the stream just yet? I'd be very disappointed if we don't get any of the American pros featured at least one time in that Oceania DLC, first of its name. Cool event. I wish I could have been there. I wish there was a way to teleport, or maybe some type of train system, intercontinental train system, perhaps. I'm not trying to fly that long. Teleportation or like particle acceleration type beats. I think I need that before I can ever make that opportunity to go to the Down Under. They're going to be missing JDZ for a while, I think.
Excellent first game, Kriplin says. I agree. That was fun. Both players got to play the game. You'd love to see that.
Those are always the best matchups, I think.
That's it.
I agree. You get
both players get to have fun, play the match. Like no one's sitting down staring at like I'm not inking for 4 turns. Like
you get to make some decisions. You get to make some decisions, huh?
And with the more decisions, there's going to be some mistakes. There wouldn't be a winner or a loser if there wasn't, right?
That's the best part about this game. I think you have to make those decisions. It's not just you can't just follow a roadmap and do your thing, whatever. You have to. I'm kidding. Hey, take your shots, dude. Guns up. Take your shots. Take your shots, man. We'll take. We'll take our shots as the technological difference is as here we go. It seems as if the reports just come in, which have some computer issues. We're rebooting, resetting. So while that's happening, make sure you guys hydrate, drink some water, or whatever your favorite Friday night beverage is. You're an adult; no one's going to judge you. Okay, whatever you're sipping on here Friday night, watch some Lorcana. I think that'll be
It's Fresca, don't worry, no alcohol on the stream.
Yeah, we got a little. We're not sponsored, okay? Coca-Cola, hook up Wonderland, dude. Get them a sponsorship, Fresca and Coca-Cola. When I'm playing Lorcana, Wonderland, you got to start doing some commercials like that. But not like the Twitch ad. Shout out to Twitch as well. But do your own.
Brought to you by Pokemon.
When I'm my name is DLC Champion Wonderland.
And all monetization is gone.
When I'm questing, I'm also quenching my thirst with Coke. Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
There you go. When I'm quenching my thirst with Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Dr. Pepper. We just heard here Wonderworld does not like.
If you
Coke,
out
he
there,
likes
boys and girls.
Dr. Pepper.
I mean, like Dr. Pepper. If you want to, I'm elderly, so Dr. Slice is like the best of those.
Dr. Pepper is definitely for the elderly. I'll agree with you on that one.
I don't know why I have Wonderland as Macho Man Randy Savage in my mind, but when you're playing Lorcana, make sure you're drinking Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
That's how you make it to the top.
Back in my day.
There it is. Oh yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Here we go. Sorry, we're still waiting here.
We had a computer go down, so we're just waiting for them to load it back in.
Okay, but make sure you guys get some Q&A in the chat while we're in here. Who do you guys think is going to win? Never mind. Kill the Q&A. Drop the Q&A. We're back at it again with some more high-profile Lorcana action after a nice long break. We had some technical issues, but it looks like shuffling is underway.
Got to flip that cam.
A little bit of shuffling is underway as the Lorcana Mama is rocking the beautiful Bell mat, the Stern Mystic. I don't have that mat. I wish
that card was.
Like
is that the good one? That's the good. That's the 5-drop Bell.
That's the good one.
Right. Yeah.
They gave Bell a good card. Cinderella.
I'm mixing it up with the card where it's an item.
They need
just the rose. Those roses.
Yeah, I think Beast Rose.
Beast Rose. I wish that card was good. It looks beautiful.
It does. I think Jasmine is the only princess without like a certified banger, dude. Like a card that's good.
At the one from set 1. Not a certified banger. But
it's not a certified banger though. I need a slapper, dude. Elsa. I think.
Oh, someone made day 2. I'm wrong. Apparently, someone made day 2 with that Roses card I was talking smack. I don't even know. To be fair, I don't even know the name of it. It's like Beast Rose or something. I want to see that deck list. We got to take a look at that deck list.
Snap back to the past as we're going to go ahead and hit a little mulligan there. Looks like Lorcana Mama has sent back 1, and Emerald Weapon is going to be sending back, I guess 3, or maybe all. It looks like, as we're going to be on the approach here. So now the tempo deck going first is probably going to be a little bit stronger, I would say. Let's see how many markers you hit. If you can get down some of those nice 1-cost characters, flood the board early, get to the Dublinsky immediately, and get on with life into a timely game number 3 if it is required. So we'll see how it goes here.
I think Gabe's game plan is exactly as you say: is flood the board, like have some good draw for the top deck for the refill, and then just pray that Mama bricks with something. Doesn't have good curve.
That's it. That's all you can ask for. I mean, I'm telling people say, oh man, who do you want to play? What decks? I want to play against my opponent bricking, dude. That's who I want to play against. I want to play against my opponent I want to play against my opponent having a bad time. Okay, that's all I want to play against. As we are going to
play green steel then, or red blue. That's a great idea.
we are gonna start with the Cursed Merfolk. So they're out. Right. That's a pretty decent start.
That's a good start. That's
a good way to bring the game out. Cursed Merfolk.
It's a very scary card because like if it's all Merfolks, it's really fast, but there's no refill for Gabe. So might get you thinking, what's the rest of this hand look like?
And it's super annoying too, because you are going to probably get some quality rips out of there. As we do jam the goat down into the inkwell, whenever you see someone inking goat early, it always feels like something bad's in their hand. I would say that's a sign, at least in my own experience. I don't know how true that is. That's always a sign that something bad has happened. As the magic broom is going to be able to check down these merfolk. So if you're able to quest the merfolk, you will lose them for free. Let's see if that's going to happen. We ink the Ursula on turn 2, and you're going to play the Diablo.
One drop.
There it is.
Love
that's
to see it.
That's the textbook opening that you like to see, as you're able to go double 1-drop and check the broom in the process. So if you take down the merfolk,
can swing into the merfolk, and then they just play a card, and then they really lose nothing overall. But it's depends on the hand situation.
You will lose a card from hand, and you also will probably lose this magic broom as well if you can't bounce it back to the hand with Snake here. Snake on 2 against this deck is quite strong. But if you do challenge the merfolk, you'll lose a card from hand, and then you'll probably lose the broom as well. They'll probably trade down with
Snake feels slow. This is a scary start for Lorcana Mama if she doesn't have like the exact, like, you got to match that tempo. Just go 1-drop as well. Kind of like last game. They just like we're doing the same thing as each other for like near the end of the game.
So let's see if it's gonna be. I mean, I would even put because you got the foxes coming. We're getting into the crab turns too. You will go into the cursed merfolk, and you will lose the crab. Okay, almost double ink there. I'm about to say that'd be a really cool effect. Send it to the inkwell from your hand instead. Don't work like that. And let's see if she's going to bounce, and she's going to match the tempo of taking your play.
1-drop. We called it. There it is.
Takes the double 1-drop, and you're able to banish the broom and get some draw as well. So I do like that comeback from Lorcana Mama. I think that is a heads up play. Putting your crab into the discard pile with this Diablo up always feels bad, because you got those similar to those Rapunzel traps. You got those Diablo traps. You got those. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's a message. Maybe she's trying to get the focus.
That was a sign. We missed a sign, JDZ.
And we got there he is. The Sir Hiss has hit the board, and he is evasive. You gotta Sir Hiss.
Sir Hiss.
I always thought, for some reason, that was a character from the Jungle Book, and it's not. It's actually the one from Robin Hood. That's a different snake character. Too many snakes.
I never watched Robin Hood.
That one's good. It's okay. It's okay. Adjacent. It's not
a must see. As a grown adult, am I gonna enjoy it, or
you might get some value out of it? But I'm not gonna put it in the must see category. I'd say it's decent.
Respect on that opinion of yours.
I'd say it's not. This just in. Yes, it's a must see. You need to do it.
It is a must see.
No, it's good. It's
Seattle champion confirmed that it's a must see.
It's good, but I would not put it into a must see category. Like, it's, if you see it, if you watch it, your life will be better, I would say. But you can go
Mulan as a must see.
Mulan's a must see. Gotta see it. Anything with the princess in, you gotta see it. Must see. We're going to go ahead and trade up the board a little bit, get some value trade with the Madam Mim Fox, and now we'll leave the Sir Hiss alone and unafraid, standing there menacingly. I know you probably don't have many songs in this deck or any kind of things that you can really do most of the time in this green purple deck, or emerald amethyst. I should say.
What is this new card? Is this like the sponsor sheet? Like, focus on camera. Gotcha. That'd be hilarious. Just the sponsors on the.
Oh man, I'm getting dunked on in the chat.
Get your bread, man. Get your bread.
I'm getting dunked on in the chat by my Robin Hood take, by the way. Okay. I do apologize. There's some I didn't know the Robin Hood fans were out there. Okay, Robin Hood is a shooter. I didn't know he had.
We're gonna rewatch it. Me and you together.
Okay, let's do a watch night and get it going. But I can't
watch night with everybody, and then everyone will tell you why it's the best. Oh, that's new tech.
Let's go. We got the Prince. Let's go. The tech is in, and that was I think one of the player who played green, purple, and had a topic performance in the North American Continental Championship played that card in their deck as well. I think it's a solid. I think it has replaced Bonsai. I haven't seen Bonsai much in these lists anymore.
This card's great into Amber Steel and all the like targeted steel removal. Like no one's running swords. That thing's gonna guarantee you 2 lore pretty much.
I'm getting 2 is what his little blurb at the bottom, his little flavor text should say.
I'm getting 2. Unless you're on B prep, I'm getting 2.
It should say Prince Eric Ward da. I'm getting 2 for sure. just count it.
Who gonna stop me?
You got the arms crossed too. I'm a bucket. Who gonna
stop me?
That should be his claim to fame there. And he's like, I'm getting a bucket. I'm getting mine. You ain't stopping it.
Oh, got some bounce shenanigans happening over here from Lurkana Mama. Sadly, or fortunately, if you're on the Illuminati side, that Sir Hiss is gonna get like two lore guaranteed so far.
Yeah, he's
until an Elsa comes out.
Yeah, he's going for probably he's hit for 2 so far. Yeah, he's gonna get at least 4 maybe before you can get him out of here.
If Mama doesn't have an Elsa, like it's a scary spot here.
So you are banging the drum here as the tempo is continuing to match.
He's like, I'm not playing this late game with Mama again. That's it.
Yeah, you've hit every turn as you've been able to deploy card on card, but what you haven't done is establish a reliable draw source, and you are running low on ammunition there. As you're going to continue to bang the drum, as Mr.
Won't feel as bad if the last card's a rabbit, but if it's anything but a rabbit, we're in some scary territory.
As Mr. Gopher 2 is going to quest. And he can snap back too, as if you trade into him with anything, he's going to take him back. So a nice crab here with that Diablo, it'll be a nice little exchange there. And also you might lose another card with the Cursed Merfolk. But if you can clear down this board as much as possible this turn, I think that would be nice. Ink, and I'd even take a Fifth Spirit here if you can get that going, as we'll put the Sisu down into the Inkwell.
I think Fifth Spirit is the best card we can play in this situation here.
100%. And that's not her. Oh, I thought it was her, but it ain't. It is just the Maui who's going to go reckless into the Prince Philip. You'll take that. He's able to survive, get a clean plus. And then we got the Chernobog. Maybe we'll go bog up into this Merfolk, clear him as well.
Draw?
No, we're drawing.
I think it's right to draw first. See if you can discard something that's worse.
Makes sense.
She might like her cards in her hand.
Makes sense. I think that's a heads up approach, as we will go ahead and trade into or clean up those cursed.
Like what she discards here is going to be a big take on what she has in her hand. Oh, another goat. So we've lost one to the Inkwell, and now there's one in the discard. So that's 2 goats gone.
That's scary. And you got that Maui here sitting with a chunky 3 on him as well. And we're getting into anything over 10.
Go off the top.
Anything over 10, my brain goes straight to go every single time, because she can reach out there and grab you from a long way away. You got gold on the board too.
Whenever you think you're safe, a Go is always watching. Go-Go's in the walls.
Yeah, Go is lurking, bro. She sees you when you're sleeping, and I look at my dice. That's ready, set. Look at my dice for Go draws. My whole little thing, and I think she's probably going to think about getting this Maui out the field. And there she is. Oh,
Go!
We'll take it. As the Go has hit the board again. And
the best part is if he has another Go in his hand, he just doesn't quest the Go
and just stay here, and just hold. Or if a bounce, if he's got, or I don't think you have enough ink to.
But even a bounce, like it forces Mama into a situation where she has to like basically wipe her own board to get rid of this. There's no way for them to kill their own Maui except for a board wipe.
You need like be prepared or something. But
that's it. I don't think Medusa can
unless she's also playing Teeth and Ambition, bro. You can get your Teeth and Ambition on.
This is true. Teeth and Ambition is a card.
It does exist.
It exists.
Dude, I get RKO'd all the time by Teeth and Ambition. Shout out to Lay, man. She'll play that card in my local tournament.
That's a Pixel-born Connect type of card. I'll be sitting there safe, and then Mulan Rush comes at you. It's like, what?
And I'll be straight stone cold chilling, and then I got my ward guys up, and then I get Teeth in it. Which one is the one where you have to? Not Teeth. I don't think you can hit evasive. Yeah, evasive guys and get hit with a Teeth and Ambition or something, or just out of nowhere. It's just the most inopportune times. Now
you forget it exists. It just comes to remind you.
You don't play around it. You get rocked and rolled.
Sponsored by Coca-Cola once again. Oh God, we're gonna lose a commentator if I make a joke while he drinks.
Sorry. We're back. Let's lock in, dude. I'm sorry. You can't do that when I'm sipping. All right. So we got the B King.
Oh, the tech comes out.
We're singing the
I wonder how many of those there are in there.
It's out. It's the song is saying, and we're gonna probably lose the Sir Hiss. He's gone. So you're trying to set yourself up for a potential bounce situation with the goat or the go. leaving both of those on the field is probably mission critical as you're at 15 now. So another go here.
I mean, Mama has
is
a
over.
board clear here. It might not be over per se.
No,
I think
no, we just passed there. So if this one card in hand is go, the game is going to a game 3. If we got
going to a game,
if it does
great
happen,
job. Can everyone say lol for JDC in the chat? Come on.
Can I get one, please? Anybody?
Come on,
can I get? I'm trying, man. If I could just get an LOL one time, I promise I'll cut the jokes forever, dude.
I always got your back, brother.
Thank you.
I always got your back.
Thank you, man. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. They all can't be winners, okay? You gotta when you're writing these jokes, there's gonna be a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor. Okay, and that is something I think is a sustain.
Did Gabe just pass turn and do nothing?
He quested the evasive go and pass.
That's not a great sign for the hand. What could be left? I guess he's trying to dodge a B prep.
Probably just trying to get as much room out of this go as possible, and maybe you can set yourself up for more ink because if you can get another card. Say if you got snake in your hand right now, and you need another card to ink in order to play the snake and then redeploy the go again, you need to take a turn off in order to pull that play off. And
I think there's no shot Mama doesn't kill the go here.
You have to bring it. Where is your 5th spirit, dude? Holy, as you're able to bounce the Maui and clear that damage. So that was a great play by Mama. Even though you're not going to be able to challenge into anything right now, you do have a pretty significant question power on your side of the board for the following turns, and you're going to put the clamps onto Emerald Weapon. But is there a way that you can put some damage onto somebody? Maybe you challenge in with the go. That doesn't make any sense. Still bounce here.
If he has another go, it gets him an extra lore for sure. Swing the go into like a rabbit and then play another one.
For sure.
I mean, everything that Gabe gets here starts with a G to win. It's either go or go. It's like
you can quest the go here to go to 17. You can even quest the goat, go to 18, and then play another goat, and you can't lose. I think is that safe to say?
Oh, we might see the play here. We're swinging into
the fox for 2. And we'll pay another one.
Go, there it is.
Just like you said, we got 2 coming in, bring it up to 18. Quest the go for 19. And now we're on standby. So we did have a stone cold read on that second go, and it kind of worked out great. So we might even you can't even be prepared here. You can't do anything. The game is just over because goat is up and active unless you got the card. Maybe she plays it. Sing together. Sing it with me now.
Come on.
Oh, she don't got it.
No tech.
Man. No, the tech didn't come up. We did see that there was.
They know about it. Where's the Pirate's Life when you need it? For these situations.
The Pirate's Life would have been huge right there.
Pirate's Life for me.
It would have been huge right there. It probably wouldn't have caused any type of significant, value or whatever. It probably still would have been demise, but I think
that Pirate's Life has been huge.
It would have been mega huge.
Questing for a lot. She definitely doesn't sing together. She probably just quests and then raw casts it.
That would have been huge. That would have been huge. Yeah, you'd have been right back in there.
All right, we're going to game 3. We like the grindy ones. Mama gets to go first this time. First time.
But we are kind of going to be up against it clockwise, and I hate going to time. I do, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. So we're going to see if they can play
in 5 minutes. We're fine.
We did see that happen. They were playing at lightning speed and having some good sportsmanship and not trying to scum time. So maybe these players will have that same energy.
I hope they know. It's not if there's a way to nudge them, I would. It's part of the game. Responsibility of the players to manage their time, make sure that they're playing quickly because you can't really afford to lose to time right now. I mean, if they do draw, actually, it wouldn't even matter too much. It just makes game 3 the deciding factor. Yeah, round 3 rather.
Absolutely. I think it's I don't know, man. I understand why we must have time here in the ICL because you just can't. That's just the way the game is played in any type of competitive environment. But I'm all about just seeing it resolve in the lines. I mean, you're Canadian. Okay, so you guys have hockey up there. They end in draws all the time. I'm American. having a tie is something that I just cannot get jiggy with, man. It's just
I
something
played Lorcana long enough to know a tie means a
Yeah.
loss. Trust me.
Yeah, it's
I've gone to
even-
enough DLCs to know that ties suck.
Isn't that just a miserable feeling when you get done with that round and you're 1-1? You're like, well, I guess I'll just go.
You get your group of people going, and you walk up to you, go like, "I drew." Everyone goes like, "Oh." No
Me
one goes
too,
like,
man.
"Great job."
Everybody's like, "Oh man, that sucks. You can get them next time." They're like,
That's it.
It just feels bad. I hate drawing. I'd rather go 3-game format and just lose, or go 1-game format and lose, and sitting here with going to split city. It doesn't feel good, but it is what it is. We take it. We complain about it. That's your right as a human being to complain, but you don't have to like it. And I think that's fair. As we are going to be probably going into a turn situation, unless they can play with lightning speed. The players are aware of how much time is left, so we'll be probably watching, ensuring that they're playing with some type of vigor as we're on our way. And it looks like the Lorcana Mom is going to start this thing off. Mulligans or exchange altering has been completed, and we're going to get this thing started. Just like you guys need to get started with the follows, the program, and getting lit. Who you guys think is going to win? How is your Friday going? Let's hear from the chat. If you're
Who do you think is going to win, JDZ?
I think it's going to be a draw, okay? But if the thing would stretch out, I like Lorcana Mama's. I always pick the person on the play. Okay, that's my hidden technique.
All right, I got my money on Gabe. As I say when he plays a Merfolk.
As they're playing quick, though. They're playing with some speed.
I think Gabe has the capability. If someone does win, I think Gabe has the capability to win fast.
True.
Right?
Even on the draw, I think. As Lorcana Mama
like more favored as this goes to like a 20-minute match, which we don't really have. So, as
we will put a goat down into the inkwell, play the snake, bounce the broom. After quest, able to check down the the cursed merfolk, and we'll pass it back on over.
It's not the quick start we want to see from Mama.
No, we needed another flood there. As Kit the Cloud Kicker, the tempo man himself, finds his way down into the inkwell. We'll go ahead and play 2 for another patent pending double 1-drop and a quest with the cursed merfolk and pass. So now Snake, it has something to hit. But every time you hit the Mer, you're going to lose 1 as well. I think that's a good design on the card. Even though I don't like Cursed Merfolk at all, I think that is a good design. So you still don't necessarily go neg on it.
That'd be crazy as an enchanted.
I think it would.
Maybe a set champ enchanted.
Oh man,
please.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it.
They got probably going to be like Gone to Legendary or something.
Oh, why it's too soon, man. Too soon. I pulled 2 of those things the other day out of my
out
of my Japanese boxes. Do it. Oh man, I was a sad panda. But it is what it is. We take it. We accept the Gone to. Now they'll probably keep doing it from the set that it's in order to sell that product. I think
maybe the next DLC. The next DLC is where I'm holding out hope.
That'll be something cool.
Good enchanteds or good like top cut prizes.
Mm-hmm. Right, replacing that Rapunzel. I think Rapunzel was a slam dunk. I thought that Cinderella was a slam dunk. I thought the Mickey obviously was a slam. I thought the Let It Go was a slam. Baymax I thought was huge. I thought it was a good one. As we got the Sisu is up, so no Flynn. We haven't seen Flynn at all, so maybe Flynn's not even in the deck. I think they have some options, but I understand they're trying to. It's got to be something that's iconic, and also like you can't just have like Cursed Merfolk is a cool card, and it does look cool. The artwork is fantastic, but when you think of Cursed Merfolk, it's like literally a side character of a side character of a nothing of a part of that movie. So I don't think it has enough momentum to carry something as iconic as Rapunzel or Elsa. It's just not that, in my opinion. Anyway, I could be wrong. As we are going to continue to quest this Diablo. Diablo gains 1, doing what he does best, as you're going to continue to just try to get to that 20. You're already sitting at 4. Snake and Sisu staring down a Diablo. You can keep challenging these characters, but at some point, you're going to have to start to build your own house and try to figure out how you're going to win as well if you are the Lorcana Mama. You got the Snake, you got the Sisu. If you exert the Sisu, it's probably going to get traded into this Fox, and then more characters are going to continue to flood the board, as that's how the tempo deck works, I suppose. That's the best. I think
Gabe had a really quick start, but now he's sitting happy with 4 cards in hand at 4 lore with 5 minutes on the clock. This looks like a difficult game to be finished.
Yeah,
they gotta play a little quicker here.
And I think Gabe is fine with, if you want to keep trading into my guys, I'll keep gaining another card, and I'll keep putting guys out, and I'll keep questing them, and you keep slowing your own win condition down. As it looks like you're just going to elect to quest up the Sisu, maybe going for another bounce opportunity, take back the Sisu. That is a little on the lower on the tempo end, but you are going to be able to take some of that back with a nice challenge here on the Diablo, getting another car in the process. So a little board reconfiguration.
Why not just quest them at him and swing the fox?
I think she wanted to get that 2 lore maybe, and then jam that Sisu down into the inkwell, maybe telling a story about the hand. She might be bricked and uninkable.
I mean, the fox that's out on the board, like just swing the fox as rush and then quest with him at him should be at 4 lore.
What do you mean, quest the Sisu?
The fox. There's a mim snake and the
There's
fox.
a snake and the fox. Yeah.
So why not just quest the snake and then swing the fox?
I think she just bounced that. She bounced from what I understand, I believe she bounced the Sisu back to hand, and maybe she didn't want to lose it. I'm not sure. I believe she quest fox and bounce challenge. She could have got an extra lore. Yes. Okay. I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying now. I thought that fox was already there. As we do bring out the Elsa the 5th, and we're going to be able to tap down the rabbit. She's going to take down the rabbit pretty cleanly. You will get a card, but that's not the end of the world. And then we'll be able to quest the snake and trying to make up for that extra lore, and electing not to take the trade, forcing your opponent to trade into you. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do from time to time, as well, as your board is quite wide.
I can see the play decision if maybe she had a friend, she's trying to hold it off and protect the fox, but Go-Go comes out immediately, punishes.
It's a little early though, so it's not as devastating. Those late game Go-Go's are always going to be.
Go-Go is honestly top MVP of this match. No matter if it's gonna go to a draw, but like MVP.
Yeah. The card is insane, absolutely insane of a Lorcana card. And I mentioned that a lot. It's one of those cards that you have to consider, no matter what the situation is, because it's evasive as well for whatever reason. They'll decide to make that card evasive. It's got a crazy effect and it just end the game, and it's just such a mess. And with this deck, you can bounce it, keep deploying that effect. Feels bad, man.
The buddy named Adrian always ends up just playing it on turn 2 and just starts questing it. It's good enough at that point, even to just do that.
And if they put, I guess the Elsa would take it out, but if they play like a genie or something, then you just bounce back to your hand later, and then now they literally have to play around a known entity of Go-Go.
That's it.
Which is a mess. All right, so we are going to get a heavy quest in.
They're racing now. This is turned into, I don't care about what you play. I just want to be at the higher lore by the end of this.
I think it is going to go to a draw if there is not a winner at 20.
Well, there'll be 5 turns.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be scary because Mama just has B prep. So either she wins or she forces a draw.
Either I win or we win.
No one wins.
I win or we win.com. Okay, so we
Sponsored
are going to
by Nike.
So we are going to get the Sir Hiss on the board as well, and we will send out a pretty hefty quest going up to 11. So we might be getting into that be prepared turn either way, as the tempo is starting to mount. That 2 lore,
a minute on the clock.
That 2 lore might come in on this fox, so you might have to just tribute him fox into fox just to get that thing all the way up off the field. But every character you challenge into is going to add more issues to you for a second and maybe tertiary Go-Go. Feels bad, man. So you gotta ponder, because you got 5 on the board right now. And if you can rack up 4 onto this Elsa 5th Spirit, another Go-Going, and what are we talking about? This is scary. I'm clearing off the fox, as we got 24 seconds left. It looks like Lorcana Mama's charging up the rabbit, potentially thinking how she wants to break this thing down, as we're going down to 13 seconds on the clock. It's going to be 7 seconds on the clock, and it looks like we are going to be going into time on round number 2 going down to 2 turns here as we will go ahead and
makes
just
you think she might not have B prep unless she just waited for the time to finish before making a decision.
Perhaps. And we do have the B prep. We will quest it out and blow up the board. You will get 2 draws from the Diablo and the Rabbit.
They can't see the clock. Gotcha.
They gotta have the they gotta listen to their heart.
The judge just lets them know right here that they're on turns. They actually don't see the clock, so there's no way for them to. They can ask for the time, but they actually had no idea. So Mama had no way of knowing.
Yeah,
just thinking about her whatever little that you know, her last probably decision. She gets 2 more before the game's done.
For sure. So I think we're definitely going to enter into a draw situation as unless you can flood here, there's still flooding opportunities. You do have.
Mama doesn't have another B prep. Like it can just be like, well, that's not flooding potential.
That's a Rabbit for a draw. That's really not doing a lot in terms of getting characters out there. So you would need to put, what is this? I think 4 lore down now. You got 1. And then, because you get 3 turns, right? 2 turns. You get turn, pat, 3 turns. So that's 2. Let's see if you can keep chunking them in.
All right. I like to look at this. I like to look at this.
Okay.
Give it one more. Give us one more.
That's a start. That's a start. That's better than nothing. As you're able to get 3 lore onto the board, that can get you up to 14.
Well, that's not a B prep. Let's see if
Lorcana Mama can match that energy, as she's also sitting at 11. Unfortunately for her, even though she went first, it will, I believe it ends with her. Okay. It does end with her. I was like, he's turn 1, she's turn 2, he's turn 3, she's turn 4, he's turn 5. So it ends with him. I'm so bad. No, she gets a 5-2. I'm just not even gonna say anything, dude. I'm just gonna sit here and rock and roll. When they stop playing,
just stopping. That's when you know it's
when they stop playing, I'll know it's over.
That's when they hit you with off the board. Like that's when you know it's done.
So it might be just Jover here. So that's turn 3. So it will end on him as turn 5.
He has a good shot at that. I mean, like, doesn't he just?
Oh, and
that's a really good.
The goat kind of changes things, and you can quest here.
Does he banish his Chernobogs? It really comes down to what he has in his hand.
I don't think you can, because you're going to need those to win. Unless you do have the go-go. I think you got to leave those there and be prepared here. And we're going to bounce the goat, go to 16.
Oh, my gosh.
This might happen. She might have to be prepared here.
Going to be a buzzer beater.
This could happen. It's everyone's on the edge of their seat as Lorcana Mama is going to have to figure this thing out.
If there's another bounce in his hand, he just wins. He has another snake.
Let's see it as Lorcana Mama has to break this board. Probably another be prepared here. You gotta yeet it, or even the Sisu, as Sisu would be decent.
So if he doesn't have the bounce, there's an argument that he should have banished the Chernobox to maybe draw into another bounce to try to win the game. Like normally no, but because he's literally at his final turn next turn, he has to win.
And it is going to be the Rabbit getting another draw.
It's a draw. He's at 3 cards, I believe, now in hand.
And that 2 damage.
One of them we know is a goat.
Look at that 2 damage though, sitting on that Rabbit. Look at that 2 damage sitting on that Fox. Watch out for it. It could come up, perhaps.
It won't be enough. It won't be
enough. Okay. My faux mathematics has struck again, dude. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm always excited, dude. Mathematics eludes me.
Come on, give us the bounce.
Let's see it.
We just need a little bounce.
Well, she got goat game 1. Do you have it game number 2? Global Guts. Let's see it.
We got to see some separation.
It's slammed immediately if you had it. Because you could quest, go up to 17, goat, go to 18. That still wouldn't be enough. You'd have to be able to put it back down. I don't think you have enough.
I wanted to flip the next 2 cards in his deck just to know if he would have had it if he just banished the Chernobox.
Let's see would Gogo be enough? Because Gogo is giving you 3. No, Gogo's giving you 2.
The Gogo is
18. Gogo's not enough, and you don't have enough ink unless you can ink Gogo and Goat at the same time. I think that might be enough because that'll put you at 8.
I don't think anyone's pockets are that full. Jay-Z.
How many cards are in hand? And you're right. Maybe Maybe
3
cracks
cards.
3 cards in hand. So we're
Yeah.
thinking about it. He's running the lines. He's pondering. He has not scooped up just yet, as this is the final turn of the game. As we do got the ink. That's step 1 of the master plan has been utilized. So you do have the 8 required to make the
I think he would have
game-winning play.
slammed it. That's like such a no-brainer for purple.
I mean, you're stressed out, man. It's a lot going on. You got to give it the time. We will quest the snake. Play the goat. Go to 18. We're grabbing ink. We got 3. Play the rose. Go to 19. And you're too short. You are too short.
No.
Man, you just didn't get it done. Hate to absolutely see it. And that is going to be the way the cookie crumbles, as we are going to say GG's all around and pass this thing off with a nice, healthy draw. Shout out anyone in the chat that loves draws. Okay, if you love draws, say yeah.
No one's saying anything in the chat. No,
say yeah. Everybody they loves draws. Say yeah. Shout out to you, the one person. You know, somebody will be like, I actually love drawing. Oh, let me go drink me some warm water as well. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Now it's either
I'm not draw shaming you. We're
Inknights wins. All right, we're gonna go hop over and interview these fellas.
They're here.
Greetings,
Hello.
and salutations to Gabe. Greetings, salutations to Lorcana Mama. How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? Congratulations on the game. There is a draw. Okay, I do feel bad about draws, and I'm sure you guys both didn't want it to end that way. But still, thank you so much for your participation in this. We'll start with you, the Lorcana Mama, coming out with the spicy techniques on the the amethyst ruby strategy. I love the inclusion. Can you just tell us why you brought this deck? What are some of the ideas behind playing a Pirate's Life? That's not a card you see too often in this strategy, the Bee King Undisputed. Just talk about your deck and some of the decks that you played for this matchup.
For sure. So the very fun thing that our team has right now is almost half of us were on the same deck build. So this was my, I think, 3rd choice to kind of pop in, but it's something that I really enjoy. So Ruby Amethyst, although I think it can be a little bit more difficult to pilot this set just because of some of the new tech that are out. I mean, Ruby Sapphire is super, super strong, and it still typically performs really well against that. But my deck is teched more towards steel builds, so that's why I'm running 12 1-drops. Kind of thanking the good Lord that I didn't come up against Steel Song, because I'm terrified of it because my deck falls to it. But Pirate's Life really is there just to help give me one more turn on some of those aggro decks that we're seeing, especially with like Diggity Hole or any of those that are out there to give me just to buy me a little bit more time. And with Flynn falling so easily to Steel, I am testing removing him out just to see how it goes. It's a little bit more difficult into the Emerald Amy build just because that usually can give me enough of a lift up if they can't do something with it early on. So that was tough for this, but yeah.
Okay, I like the deck a lot. I thought it looked clean. We saw that goat come into full effect in that first game, top deck the goat, and we were both really hype, hoping for you to get a top deck Pirate's Life to save the game in game number 2. Habibi, what do you think about this deck? What do you think about what Lorcana Mama did?
Yeah, it's a great deck. I like the style and the tech pieces, like JDC mentioned. We were super excited when they did come out. What was the reasoning behind not putting Flynn in your deck or cutting it out?
Yeah, just anticipating more steel matchups. So just to buy myself a little bit more time for that, either snake or fox bounce, just to give me more time. Like kind of a thinking I might get into more aggro decks just to be a little bit more competitive, because aggro is still pretty tough, especially anything with steel aggro.
And how do you normally fare into green purple?
We have a player on our team that does really well. I do well with Flynn, and I typically used to run Genie, but I'm trying Genie out of it just because our local meta, there's a lot of Ruby Sapphire, so he's easy to remove, and there's just more value with Rabbit. So, I mean, this is a fun deck. I think that, you look at some of these players like Kendall, Ed that are running this, they've mastered it. I'm kind of trying to find a new way just to break into local meta and find some success when we have a lot of steel and we have a lot of Ruby Sapphire. So, TBD, but I think we're kind of onto something maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, it was cooking. But we had the other side of that. We had We had Gabe, Logic out here representing the Illuminati. Okay, talk about your deck. You got Emerald, Amethyst. I think it's a cool deck. Tempo deck. It's kind of falling out of favor with the amount of steel that is represented in this metagame. So can you talk real quick about why you brought this deck and and your deck is quite teched out as well. Some of the inspirations you had before constructing it this way.
Yeah, so when I think about green purple, when I think about emerald amethyst, one of the things that I really appreciate about it, one of the reasons why I keep going back to it, is that it's very much like a tool belt, and so like you can craft it to deal with any kind of meta that you might deal with. Now here's the thing I thought about. So I'm thinking about the ICL. If I was going to a tournament, I would normally be going up against 5 decks, 6 decks.
Right.
So you tech it in a certain way. You put in a Clarabelle to deal with. To potentially have an advantage over something like Ruby Amethyst, or you put in the Sea Witch Queens if you think you're going to see more steel. And so I kind of opted for something that didn't have any of those because I figured I got one shot in the dark, I've got one match, one lottery pool, and the more tech that I put into the deck, the worse it would be into whatever it was. So I made it as streamlined as I could. And when I think about the colors that exist, the colors of the ink, really the best pairing to do that with was Emerald Amethyst because of how much of a toolkit exists within that color in the middle of that game there.
Absolutely. I think the deck looks cool. I think you got some cool tech in there. I love the include of Sir Hiss. I know a lot of people are down on Sir Hiss because of his low stats and his weakness to steel, but he can answer a lot of problems that the meta can toss in. But I do have one question before I toss it over to Habibi. Earlier in that game, number 2, you had an opportunity to take down that rabbit. Are there any regrets? What was that decision on allowing that rabbit to thrive instead of taking it down with that white rose when you had the opportunity to do that?
So my deck is meant to be faster, and I figured that if I can keep lore pressure, I would rather keep that up. And with what I had in my hand at the time, I'm trying to remember what I had exactly in my hand at the time. But I was thinking that I could, because my hand had grown pretty big at that point in game 2.
Right.
And so I'm thinking like, okay, if I can keep this thing around, if I just get one more lore, just like we saw in game 3, if I had just got one more lore somewhere, if I had inked one more card, I would have closed that game out. And so, like that is kind of the thought process behind it. Is it worth it to eliminate the board, or can I be faster than you? And usually I'm faster than you. And if that's the case, then I'm going to go ahead and tap that card sideways and get the lore for it.
Absolutely. I like the decision making process, man. I mean, that rabbit kind of went crazy after you let it survive, but other than that, I mean, I probably agree with you most of the time. Habibi, you got anything you want to say for Gabe, Logic, and the Illuminati?
Yeah, I mean, I love your list. We're taking a look at some of the tech. You definitely kept it focused, but you definitely have the toolkit. You have some Answers to Steel Song with the warded 3 drops. We have some really good options with obviously the bounce and all the purple cards. My question to not only Gabe but both of you guys, no locations in either deck. Is there a reasoning behind that, or both have access to some pretty good ones?
They do.
Start off with Gabe.
Yeah, in my case, I mean, there's some solid options when it comes to locations. If I were to face against a potentially a Steel Song deck, the less of these things in my deck, the more I'm going to hit the trigger for Daisy. And so I'm trying to keep whatever I can. And for me, playing a location is okay, but there's characters that I can play that'll do more than that. I think about my evasive characters as if they are locations in certain matchups because of how difficult they can be to deal with. So in a lot of ways, instead of locations, I do evasives. And for me, if you're playing Emerald Amethyst, taking a turn off, and that's a term that we use when it means you're playing something other than a character that advances your board state, that could sometimes be the beginning of the end for Emerald Amethyst. So by opting to go with evasive characters, warded characters instead of locations, it allows me to kind of continue maintaining pressure on the board.
Yeah. And Lorcana Mama, just not a fan of it in purple, red purple.
Liked it. I prefer them into blue matchups. So again, like not really sure what I was going to see here. Kind of doing some sleuthing. I didn't see that their team had really traditionally played any blue, so kind of left them out, trying to hopefully get more characters on the board, just to have more room for that. And I really kind of ditched locations for the Pirate's Life, because you kind of see where if I could have gotten that out in a couple of games, that could have really made a difference. So
we were screaming for it. We were praying on it.
It would have been really cool to see. It would have been really cool to see.
I got to tell you something. When I played that Ursula and I saw your hand and I saw that Pirate's Life, I was taken aback. I wish there was a camera on my face. I was like, what? What is this? So I'm like, I got to
When I saw the deck list, I was like trying so hard not to spoil it. I'm like, I can't dox the list. We got to wait for the tech to come out. I'm glad it did.
You made me pick the Pirate's Life over Be Prepared. You should be very proud. Okay.
Yeah, hey, I'll take that. I'll take that.
And it came up, and it absolutely came out huge. But again, to both of you competitors, man, thank you guys, thank you both for participating. And it's terrible that's a draw, but now you got to get back to the team rooms and you need to cheer on your fellow teammates, because it's going to be another high profile match coming up. So it's still open. I think there's still opportunities for these things to get some points going into the following round. So again, thank you guys so much for doing that, and I hope you have good luck throughout the rest of the tournament.
And thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good job.
Absolutely.
Good game.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck.
That was nuts. That was amazing. It was a pleasure. I'm in the presence of a legend. I am on Twitch as Lorcana Habib.
Let me full time. Have I been muted?
You're talking through Discord, so it's up to.
How about now? Did none of the questions go through? Am I on fire, dude? Holy. Okay.
No, everything went through. Everything went through. You're good. You're good.
Okay, we're video now. We're video now, gang. Okay, but Habibi, seriously,
Gucci.
where can I find you? I need more Habibi in my life.
If you need more Habib in your life, you can find me on Twitch. I am starting to stream with a very garbage stream quality over there on Twitch for some Pixelborn Connect matches. I'm on Metafy. I pretty much only do coaching, no crazy guides or anything like that for me. Mostly focus on Steel Song. And on Twitter and everything else is Elias Abdullahad. I can't really go as Habibi everywhere.
Okay.
How about you, JDZ? Number one commentator out there.
Stop. I'm blushing.
For real. It's an honor being with a commentator like yourself.
It was a good time to kick it with you, but we got some real pros coming up next, so you guys are going to be in for a real treat. But still, if you guys want to see me, I'll be on JDZ Quest. I stream almost every day, Monday through Thursday, and I'm on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all JDZ Quest, man. Instagram, everything JDZ Quest. Check me out, and you guys might like what you see. You might continue to like me there. All right, and I think I'm about to get snatched out of here. So thank you guys so much, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Introducing the one, the only, Sisu and Sploosh Magloosh. I probably said that wrong.
What's going on, Illumineers? Hope you guys are all having a great evening. For those of you that don't know me, I am Sisu from Freedom Gaming. And who am I joined with today? Guy looks kind of familiar to me. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That was it definitely came down to the wire. Super close there for Gabe, just missing out on that one lore.
Had reached out to me earlier, as you know, I do enjoy a little bit of a Amethyst Emerald myself, and we kind of went over his deck list shortly, and really enjoyed some of the tech that he brought and that they touched on, but unfortunately fell short. Everybody, I think, was waiting for, we knew he had the GOAT. We were just waiting for that next go-go to show up. So let's see what we can bring going into round 3. Who's going to take home all the chips here?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely looking forward to it. So I don't quite know what the matchup is. I believe it's Illuminati's Emerald Weapon, but I don't know who's playing on the Inknights side.
I'm sure we'll find out shortly here. In the meantime, though, I've been obviously keeping up with ICL today, but we gotta also remember that we have our friends across the pond playing in the very first DLC in Australia. I believe it's 512 players today, and there's somebody or one or two players from Labyrinth. I know No I'm Not is over there, so we'll be keeping an eye on them. They are 16 hours into the future.
That they are. So should be interesting to see. I don't know if they're starting just yet, or are we still waiting on? We're still waiting on Bad Vegas, right?
Yeah, we probably have a little bit of setup, but that's okay. In the meantime, I know some of the other players that participate in the ICL will be attending the 10K next week. I know, unfortunately, you aren't able to make it down, but I will be there. I'll be flying in on Friday night. Super stoked to see everybody from Illuminati, who are also locals down in South Florida, as well as some of the Labyrinth guys and any other teams that decide to show up. Looks like we're getting started here, or at least getting our play mat set up.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, like we're still we're doing a little editing as we get everything ready for you guys. Yeah, who do you guys? Who's chat thinking is going to win? Who do we like? We got Emerald Weapon on Illuminati side, and then Bad Vegas on Inknights side. This will be again an interesting matchup. Like Illuminati needs to win here to lock in a 1-1-1, which could definitely help them out and go a ways in getting out of the group stage over here. So will be interesting here as we get ready, get an hour on the clock and everything ready to go.
Let's talk about these playmats. Big flex from Gabe, right? Or no, I guess it's going to be Stefan now.
Yeah.
Big flex from Stefan with the Cindy mat. But I got to say, I really enjoy other one. I guess it's Azrite Seas.
It looks like I think it's just a custom mat, but it looks really cool though. Obviously, you see, we got the Baymax.
No, I'm saying it's all the characters from Azrite Sea release.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. So here we go.
So one of the color pairings players are going to be shuffling up here.
Yep. Oh, and how do they decide the winner or who goes first? Because it would be based on the
winner. That's right. I'm not entirely sure what the judges ended up handing out. Maybe because Gabe ended up going on the last one. Inknights will have the play.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about some sleeves here. So as we have Stefan with the those are the Ursula's Return sleeves, which I can say that I delivered to him from PAX. Very, very nice sleeves.
Oh, well, there we go. They're rolling dice to determine the winner. It looks like Stefan rolled an 11. That's going to be a tough act to follow.
Yep, absolutely.
Bad Vegas going to lay down.
Okay, looks like we're cutting it up. I didn't see the roll though. I guess we will see shortly based on this mulligan. All right. Oh, Snap and put 2 cards down. It's either good or bad. I know, at least for me, I like to I like to put my cards down that I like, and some people don't. So it just varies.
I don't know. We have a few questions in the chat about if the player's hair is on the line, but I don't think that was discussed pre-match.
I don't think we have a hair matchup. I was lucky enough to be part of the hair match last week. I don't believe we have a hair match this week, unfortunately. Should probably get the chat up.
I think the players might.
All right. Now they're back to it. So the mulligan. And we are just about ready to go here as they decide on the Pixelborn standard triple cut.
As we're waiting, though, going back to Melbourne, it was nice to see that they did include all 6 sets. I know that was kind of a question at the beginning when they first announced it, and then I think that question's still persisting with the Grand Prix that just got announced in Japan. They just got that very first set released, and I believe the second set will be coming out in just so. All right, here we go. Players kicking it off. Steel Song.
Yep, so playing the typical daisy curve. Ooh. Fortisphere for a pop, so very interesting there. So Bad Vegas is going to be on little Sapphire Steel, as Emerald Weapon is on Amber Steel. Us, like, we have we do know the Illuminati team, as they are one of our local rivals. So quick quest there from Emerald Weapon. So we do know a little bit about what Emerald Weapon does like to play. So this is kind of his standard. I don't know much about Bad Vegas, but this should be a pretty interesting matchup here as we start off to the races here.
Daisy into a Smee, pretty fantastic start. Two characters questing for 2, and Sapphire Steel, depending on what list it is, might take a little bit longer to get the end.
Yeah, this is looks like it might be like the standard like Zoolander list that was popular a while ago. Oh, as we do see a Jim Hawkins. So Jim Hawkins is a very fun card as well. But no ramp, which is something that you do like to see from Emerald Weapon's side. But this is definitely a very scary start, as we could potentially see like Shift Wheel.
I believe he just Tinkerbell Enchanted.
Yep. Look like a Tinkerbell. So it is 6 lore real quick here, right off the bat. Now, and did he miss an ink? I don't think he inked. I think he just passed. He quested and passed.
That is not a good indication of the hand.
That it is not. So,
and in the meantime, I know that Daisy's been drawing some cards for Bad Vegas. Stuck on some wheels, some Zeuses, some Storms.
So inking Automatoa.
Emerald Weapon seemed to have a fantastic start, but we are lagging behind here.
Yep, definitely. And there's that Tinkerbell that we saw off the Daisy. So that should be able to take out the Daisy real nicely, because with that Jim Hawkins, you do get +2 challenger every time you ink. So very smart play there. Oof.
Wow.
And that is a huge tempo gain here. And it looked almost like Bad Vegas was on the play this game. There's a Pete inking for Emerald Weapon. I'm just going to clear the board here with that Storm to draw a card. Oh, it doesn't even clear it. Yeah.
Oh, like Emerald Weapon is fighting the battle against his own deck before he even gets to actually play against Bad Vegas.
Yeah, it does happen like that sometimes.
So Faversham coming down, drawing Bad Vegas 2 more cards, and he along nicely with his game plan. No hiccups at all. Being on the draw, I think he's pretty content with the board state.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is pretty much going to be a free quest here for Jim Hawkins too. As we ink a Flaversham, I'm probably just going to pass it over here. But yeah, this is not looking too great. It's probably just a handful of wheels and who knows what else for Emerald Weapon. This matchup traditionally is kind of interesting. I say it's definitely a lot of back and forth. But obviously it's gotten more in Steel Song's favor, in my opinion, probably with all the aggro cards that the Emerald Steel or the Amber Steel list is playing.
Prince Naveen coming down with another Storm, I believe that was. So we have a Singer 5 on the board. But as we did see, I believe Emerald Weapon asked for a hand count, and Bad Vegas flashed no less than 6 cards in his hand. So almost a full grip. Potentially, I think it was 7. So he is still very much in the driver's seat here. But as we know with Steel Song, that wheel can do wonders.
Yep. It can 100%. It can bring you back into the game, or it could also kind of just ruin your game plan as well. Or you can just double wheel someone too sometimes to get yourself out of the game. That's the second Tamatoa hitting the inkwell. So interesting to see. Could be a tell that is either another one in hand or
there's another enchanted.
Another Tinkerbell there. So nice little quest there. And so as the Amber Steel player, I think you're kind of a little on edge. Like you don't, again, missing that ink on turn 3, and then just not really like up too much lore at this point yet. Oh, Ariel, this could be a huge swing right here.
Need a way to clear that Tinkerbell. Oh, and there it
There
is.
it is, the Zeus.
Found the Zeus. But if that Tinkerbell persisted on that board, anytime his singers would turn sideways, the Tink was going to be one, and that would pose problem. So that's two Tinkerbells out of play, one in the inkwell, one in the discard, 2 Flavershams, as well as 2 of Crabs.
Yep.
Ursula coming down.
Yep. Got Vanessa in, so
slowly building that board back up.
Yep.
If he had not missed that ink on turn 3, this would be a much different game state. But so far he is managing to find the things he needs.
Yep. I mean, that if nothing else, that like Amber Steel is resilient in the way how you can just filter through your deck via songs and then like just drawing cards, off of Let the Storm Rage On, being able to find those songs that you need to kind of handle the board, which Emerald Weapon has been able to do, which is definitely huge for them. So Bad Vegas here going to ink a Smee, which puts them up to 7 ink. I'm interested to see which way they go here.
Swords.
Yep.
So Naveen is gone. 2 damage on the Ariel as well. Ursula, is that a Chicha?
I believe it is. It is a Chicha. Very interesting to see that.
Very nicely with the Tipos as the sails. Not sure what else he's playing. And then also remembering that Jim Hawkins benefits every time.
Yep. So dealing with the Chicha very cleanly there. Can't have that going just quite yet.
But now I believe Emerald Weapon is down to 2 cards in his hand, while Bad Vegas just showed 3. And we need to start finding a way to refill that.
Yep.
You have another Rapunzel? Yes. Or no.
Yep, for the wheel. Yep.
There's the wheel.
Hitting
very nice.
Dime Hades and Arthur.
Wow.
Very, very spicy there. So a whole new hand of 7 for both. So let's see what we get. Can't quite see what that card is.
Out, yep, because of the glare there. An enchanted, could be a foil, could be anything.
Who knows? Take bets in the chat. What is it?
Oh,
it's a Smee. Big hit there on the wheel, though. Definitely on that. Definitely on the Arthur, but on the dime too. With 2 Tamatoas down already, so it's going to be interesting to see how Bad Vegas wants to try to get across the line here.
Upside for Bad Vegas, he is already at 7 ink, so should be able to play out some big bombs here shortly.
Yep.
I am curious to see Arthur come down.
That would be an interesting play for sure.
Again, so sorry.
I was gonna say just counting out their ink, like looking like they're trying to figure out like which way to go. So we ink a sail. I guess you're really not looking to draw cards at this point after seeing 8 cards. So
they opted not to play on Pixel.
I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, obviously through Discord here. Oh, so we're inking a sail to play a sail.
Understood. And I can
So this looks like it'll be our sail ink here. Oh, that's Tamatoa number 3 that we've seen. So Oh, for the for the Simba to get rid of that aerial. So that's poses quite a problem, honestly. It is a
large threat that he has to deal with.
Yep.
Managed to get rid of the Tinkerbell, but now we got to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Definitely going to be tough here, though.
Full grip of cards, though. I'm sure he can dig pretty good. We know swords was already used, so if he chooses to do the standard Amber Steel play of going wider and wider, and then hand again, then oh, there it is.
That's Zeus. Five down, 2 more to go. Now, does he have the storm or the strength? Okay, Sven ready to re-sing it, to re-sing something else.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Zeus number 3. What an answer!
Wow.
Also to note, this harem has not done anything. It's got what, 1 banish, I think, and 1 quest.
Yep.
And Pete blowing the whistle. And as we're wheeling again.
Goodness.
That's going to be big there. A lot of items
Another
there.
swords, another Flaversham, Jim Hawkins, and I could not make out the bottom 2.
It was Ford and Quill.
This is absolutely massive for Sefin, who saw such a somewhat difficult start on that turn 3. He's turned this around.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
it's going to be protecting.
Looking for a 1.
I mean, 2 swords already down.
Mm-hmm.
How is Bad Vegas going to attack this board?
Yep, because I mean, like, how many swords can you even afford in this list now? Like, I mean, it's not like the standard like 3 or 4 like you used to see, like, back in the early sets.
And clearly, this is not the Kiwi list that has gained so much popularity as of within the last week.
Yep.
So I think this is the first time I've seen a standard Fire Steel list being played in ICL.
Yep.
And
it's my first time seeing one since like Toronto.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yep. There, a little better lore counter for everyone out there. As Emerald Weapon is in a 8-3 lore lead. Pretty solid board state as well, as Bad Vegas is looking for visions. Like, what do you think Bad Vegas is looking for here, Brian?
I don't know, because you're maybe another Tink and then start chipping away that way.
He peated last turn.
Yeah, so you gotta.
So so that is shuffle up the deck. So it won't even matter because he can't even play it.
Gonna have to be a Tink or another Simba, something a little bit stickier. 3 of those Zeuses are already out of play. If you're Bad Vegas, you got to think, what are the chances he's got another way to clear any of my larger characters, right?
Yep.
And it's gonna take some time here, but Emerald Weapon's almost ready to start hitting those double-digit. And we'll turn that curve, it's gonna be difficult for Bad Vegas to really claw back.
Yep. And another thing to note is, like, 3 Tomatoes are already in the Inkwell too. So that's like what's your win con here? Okay, so there we go. So we're seeing some items now. So maybe there is the fourth Tomato. There's 3. There's Chicha again. So Chicha should help a little bit there.
Off the Chicha, and then obviously quest with Flaversham drawing him an additional 2. And build down. Steadily dig.
All right, so we're digging.
This again does pose the ever-present problem when you're playing against Steel Song of getting decked out. So Smee coming down and a hook.
Oof.
And another hook.
Okay, so
all right.
They said so Bad Vegas saying, all right, let's race.
That wasn't the Tink, but now Bad Vegas presents a board that can, the moment that Emerald Weapon turns sideways again, he has the opportunity to
answer. Yep.
Somewhat nicely.
Yep. It looks like we are going to quest here. popping, or no, electing not to. Or no, he swung into the SME. So if the SME,
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, I understand because you really don't. The Lord, like the 5 Lord deficit, doesn't really matter at this point. Like his hand must be healthy enough that he doesn't want, or he doesn't mind. Like he doesn't need the 2 cards from the quest on the fort. So, but this also basically banishes the SME regardless next turn, or if Emerald Weapon doesn't
Prevents the
quest.
2 lore being gained, and now that he has a pseudo draw engine on the board.
Yep, but it will be. The only thing is though, it would be a kind of a huge blowout if he has Rapunzel. If Emerald Weapon does have Rapunzel, because like heal that 2, and then your SME is back healthy again. So Emerald Weapon, I believe his turn. Yep, pondering out this one here. Seeing what he could do. I mean, is there a world where you just turn sideways and say, answer my board?
I think so.
At this point, yep. Oh, that take. Yep. So that takes out.
Do you Hiram here?
I think you have to, honestly. I would. But with the other ones,
and I say that because, as we saw, I believe he inked one and pitched one already.
Yep.
So this would be number 3. Without that Hiram, it does. Strength coming down, smacking the SME.
Yep. For the Daisy, the last one, and then I think you just quest with the other 3. I think it's fine to sack the SME personally. At this point, like, who cares? It did its job. It got 6 lore, or 4 lore, I guess, because it got ran into. So, and then these two hooks are suiciding. Wow. So yeah, that is that's quite the board here for Emerald Weapon.
Board. And after he missed the turn 3 ink, he has not stopped since then.
He has made sure to ink forever. And I think that should pass the turn, banishes the SME. And this is going to be quite the mountain to climb here for Bad Vegas now. Yeah, like we said, 3 Hirams down, 3 Tamatoas down. And definitely to
will cleanly answer the Naveen. Sven?
Yeah, probably Naveen and Sven. No, I think he just conceded. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right.
So
that was quick.
Yeah, that was a match.
That was foregoing that initial hiccup. I think that went about as well as Emerald Weapon could have wanted it to go.
Yeah,
definitely a bit of a scary start. I didn't again, so I'm not sure what he sent back and in terms of inkable and uninkable cards he chose to keep. But he did see the Daisy into the SME and had to take a turn off. But after that, we were off to the races.
Oh yeah, definitely. And seeing a good, like, the wheel was quite good too, especially hitting the time.
And honestly, it's not like Bad Vegas didn't have answers, right? Between the Jim Hawkins as well as the Fire the Cannons and Emerald Weapon missing that ink, he did have a clean opportunity to make a comeback, but seeing 3 Zeuses is pretty good.
3 Zeuses like almost in a row too, no less. Yep. Like hitting the 1 off the aerial and then the 2 just having it, I think, off the wheel. So okay, there we go. That's a little better visually for us. So Bad Vegas should be on the play here, I would assume, unless they're just a maniac.
He's going to. He didn't ramp on turn 2 on the last game.
Yep. He ramped on turn 3 because he elected for the Jim Hawkins.
And I didn't see a Tipo as of yet, but obviously he's playing the Quill in addition to the Sail. So, as Bad Vegas, do you think he's really cares if he misses that turn 2 ramp, or is he opting to prioritize the quill?
I think probably prioritizing the quill, because the quill or even the sail, it at the end of the day, because you play Hawkins, you play Jim on 2, and then you're gonna quill your sail. That's 1 ink, and then you for your second one, that's 2. That answers a Daisy perfectly. So like they only get 1 trigger off of Daisy.
And I
So
wonder if he ends up changing his lines depending on his matchups, right? Because everybody kind of shifted away from Quill. New set came out. The reliability and consistency of being able to turn 2, especially dropping that item on 1, ramping, and then on your turn 3 dropping a Flaversham, probably feels, I think every Ruby Sapphire and Sapphire Steel player can agree, that is pretty daggone good. But with the inclusion of Quill here, and again, we saw the Chicha, he has a few different lines of play that he can take. Pretty interesting deck choice overall to begin with. I wonder if this is a comfort pick, something to ask him after the fact. And I'm kind of interested in to see what his idea was. Is this strictly for ICL? Is he taking this to store champs? But standard start here, opting to ink the Flaversham and playing the popsicle, draw 1, pass it back over. Let's see.
Yeah, inking the Flaversham to me tells me that there's another one probably in hand. So, or they're not worrying about it just yet. But seeing the Cindy here, Cindy's a pretty good answer, as is probably like you won't see a Chicha come in here. So you could see either, or you could see potentially a Jim Hawkins, or maybe even just a standard sail just to ink and play maybe another pop or a fort. So let's see. Inking the Quill. For the Jim again.
So are we going to assume not only does he have another Flaversham in hand, potentially having a second Quill in hand as well? I don't think we ink our ramp and our draw engine away without having backups, right?
Exactly, yep. Does that Be Our Guest? That is inking Be Our Guest. I haven't seen that song in a long time. So obviously that used to be just the standard set 1 ink. Just hit it off of Ariel and then ink it, very rarely getting played. But now let's see
what are we going to opt for here? Ursula, Smee.
Ursula, Smee, or do we do double one drop Storm? That would be a line for sure.
He is playing the Robin Hood shift line.
Second Cindy. So second Cindy and pass. No song to be played. So inking of Fortisphere. Okay, there's the second Quill, like we talked about. So if I'm not mistaken, Bad Vegas is probably pretty low on cards at this point as well. Okay, I mean, obviously they replace them, or the pops replace themselves, but I think it's only a hand of 3 or 4. All right, inking the Hood on Emerald Weapon side, playing an Aerial. The standard Steel Song play. So let's see what Emerald Weapon does find. And that is a whiff. That is not what you want to see.
Not what you want to see, especially being on the draw and having 2 singers already there to turn sideways.
I wonder if inking that strength turn 1 is coming back to hurt, unfortunately. Okay, so there is a song in play. 2 to Jim, singing Let the Storm Rage On. So that Cindy will most likely be taken out this turn here. I would only assume. So now on from Bad Vegas' side, do you think we see, is this the hero play to see what else we can find, or do you think we go to just try to build the board a little bit, like maybe do we see Cogsworth, something along those lines?
Chicha could come down, draw 2. Or no, it's only once per turn.
Well, it's only on this. It's on the second ink. So
second, sorry. decisions, turning all 4. As we mentioned, we kind of assumed he had the second harm since he turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
And
so we do still have to ink regardless, or get a card into the inkwell for Jim Hawkins to get the challenger, as we are currently sitting at a 0-4 only. There's the visions. Second ink from our quill. So Jim.
Another visions to play as well.
Or could be a sale, maybe. Keep drawing. Yep.
Oh, he called it.
Yeah, it looks like Bad Vegas is kind of just continuing to cycle, ramping up. Second visions, that is interesting. So either they have the cards in hand, they have some of their answers late, or they're just continuing.
Or he's just hitting the ramp accelerator and with the opportunity to drop. Oh, there he is, cracking the popsicle, healing up the gym.
And passing.
So does he have the shift line available in hand? And are we ramping into Tamatoa?
Yeah, this feels like a 2 cards in hand. This feels like an ink play Tamatoa type play. Naveen for a storm. So pretty good read there. Not allowing the gym to stay up.
Jim is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And once those larger health characters come down, does pose an issue, especially with the lore count right now being 0.
Yeah, definitely.
It just starts to become this insurmountable hill to climb, especially with the will in play.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's already built up his inkwell on Bad Vegas' side, every time that he wheels, kind of just ends up helping him out,
Yep, absolutely. And also, but the other thing to note on Emerald Weapon side is that you do have to just be careful, like playing into the grab your swords, which we know there's 2 in Bad Vegas's list. And also just the fact too that, I mean, like strength and Raging Fire definitely becomes a play as well here, as they keep building up their side of the board too. So it looks like both players have 3 cards in hand here. Like we were saying, this kind of feels like a play ink Tamatoa, but very well, maybe not. There's the sword.
There's the swords.
Swords number 1 that we know for sure is in the list.
Able to clear.
Second gem. Okay, and then I think this is whatever card is in hand. I think this is the last card in Bad Vegas's hand, whatever it is. I think they're just debating on this quest right here with Flaversham. Like, do you ink it?
Yeah, and then pop the quill.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Looks like it was just a pass, though.
Pass, yep.
So 4 cards in hand here. Cindy number 3.
Cindy, yep.
And a hood. We're at a kind of an interesting stalemate here as well. Like both players looking they don't want to make the first move and potentially misstep, as we are definitely teetering right now.
Yeah, if Emerald Weapon can keep all these Singer 5s and plus the Robin Hood and get into a wheel.
All right, so that's two Lord of Zero.
Why turn sideways there?
Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I think I'm not really too sure about that, honestly. I mean, it's going to give a free trade for, not a free trade. I mean, you're trading up, but you're losing one of your singers. This is a Tinkerbell. Yeah. Yeah, probably something looking for maybe Rapunzel. But they're both kind of starved here for cards. Two on the side of Emerald Weapon. What is Bad Vegas is really, really tanking about this, about if they want to quest with the Flaversham here. Or we just start turning sideways. So
He had a stalemate for so long, and then Tinkerbell came in and cleaned up the other two singers. And now, if he chooses to run the Robin Hood, is that his own Tinkerbell?
that is his own Tinkerbell, and that actually is big because now Emerald Weapon will gain 2 lore off this Jim Hawkins if they so choose.
Had this crazy stalemate, and now it's kind of a potential for a quick back and forth here. Both players kind of short.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
does not take it. Okay.
Huh.
I mean, I guess you're trying to play around. You're gonna try and play around like some swords play where you don't get the draw off Robin Hood, potentially. So we're gonna finally see this quill be used. Maybe we get the Tamatoa here, or maybe not.
Yeah, if Tamatoa comes online and he's able to start cycling those popsicles with Flaversham, it is going to quickly get out of control in Bad Vegas's favor.
Mm-hmm. So gain 1, draw 2. I believe that's 3 cards in Bad Vegas's hand. 5, 7 for Simba. Oh, Arthur.
There is the Arthur we were talking about earlier.
You wanted it. You wanted it, and you got it. Arthur is a very, very strong card in its own right. So, unfortunately,
funny enough, there was a player who's coming down to the 10K who is looking for some enchanted Arthurs, and known Sapphire Steel player in the South Florida Bad Vegas and this gentleman been kind of going back and forth on deck lists.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the return of Sapphire Steel?
Could be. Great play though. You know, Arthur giving the Tinkerbell the Challenger 2, as well as Resist 2, and challenging ready characters. So taking out the Tinkerbell. I don't believe they dealt 2 damage with Tinkerbell though, because I feel like you should have dealt that to, or do they just elect not to? So they don't give the Robin Hood a chance to draw a card. Or is the Tinkerbell a May? Actually, I have the card right here in my pile of cards.
Ariel coming down, looking at the
top
is a
May,
cards.
So that's
grabbing a Zeus immediately.
So Arthur finally getting taken out there. But this game looks Zeus still in hand, 2 cards in hand for Emerald Weapon as they sit trailing 5-4. But Emerald Weapon is definitely in a little bit of trouble. Bad Vegas though is in a very strong spot here. Some big threats looming for sure. So what do you think, Brian? Is you think is Bad Vegas is looking for to try and close this game out? Like,
I think he needs to find that either. Oh, another Tinkerbell coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume he's looking for a Tamatoa here, being able to cycle that popsicle, continuously draw. He's got the ink ready to go. He just needs something to be able to use it in the moment. Starts slamming down these huge threats.
Yep. That Tinkerbell play ends up being huge. Like, you really don't care about the card draw at that point, because you do just take out the Robin Hood, then the Robin Hood and the Ariel. So now Emerald Weapon is left sitting with 6 ink and 2 cards.
Board. Yep.
No board and 2 cards. Oh, Naveen for World. Dope. Naveen for Zeus. So we're hanging on by a thread here as Lilo hits the board finally. But we're still playing. But this is definitely a tricky spot.
Your Emerald Weapon, what are you trying to do? Clean the board?
Yeah, you
bet
gotta.
efficiently, and there is a body coming down.
Yep. And that is presenting lethal right now, and it
One
really is.
turn.
Yeah.
One turn.
One turn to get rid of 7. Was it 12?
Looks like they're moving on. Both these games have kind of concluded pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Player
We
being
have.
on the play. So as it stands, we are 1-1 going to game 3 of round 3.
Mm-hmm.
Emerald Weapon will be on the play again.
Okay. So yeah, so we just got word that the way how this will work for the standings and the seedings is that if Bad Vegas does win this game, and that'll give Inknights a 2-0-1 victory, but if Emerald Weapon wins, that'll be a 1-1-1 draw. So this there's a lot of really interesting implications in the group standings for sure.
And again, this being the first draw, I think, potentially the first draw, depending on how things go.
Mm-hmm.
But everything, a lot of pressure on Emerald Weapon. He's playing pretty good overall. On the play here, let's hope he finds what he needs.
Yep, definitely. I'm interested to see if we see this this gym opening once again from Bad Vegas, as they have done it twice and then ramped both times to get the to potentially give their gym +4.
The Quill did come online much earlier in that game too, and we saw Bad Vegas push the ink out, and he was wide, right?
Yep, very wide.
Now, never got to see that Tamatoa come down.
Mm-hmm.
I think things would have closed out a little bit sooner if he had gotten that draw engine online. But overall, I think he executed his game plan, and obviously that's what got us to game 3.
Yep, absolutely.
Emerald Weapon.
I was gonna say at this point, I think we could assume that there's no wheel in Bad Vegas's list.
I have not seen one. So I think Emerald Weapon now probably going for the standard Daisy. I think you prioritize the Daisy over Umbrella. I kind of lackluster Jim being on board. You saw in that previous game 2 storms being used and not much resulting from it. So if I'm Emerald Weapon, I think I'm going to try to dig for those daisies.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Hopefully you send those swords down to the bottom of Bad Vegas's deck.
Mm-hmm.
Especially knowing that Bad Vegas is running Fire the Cannons, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you've seen some interesting like early game choices as well. This will be, I'd imagine, Emerald Weapon will be looking for their, like you were talking about Daisy. So try to start a little faster, put Bad Vegas on the back foot. So let's see, as we are about to hop into game 3, Inka Tink play a hood. So presenting that potential.
Have the shift line.
Yep, exactly. Do we have the shift line presenting that turn 3 wheel, which is always a very powerful play.
Something else to note, I don't know if the viewers are aware, but there are 2 separate brackets in the ICL. So how the point system affects current bracket, I'm very interested to see. Us being on Freedom.
As we Inkasme to play me here.
That have played on our side of the bracket. Everybody else, I mean, going forward, I'm sure we'll see plenty of games coming out. You please every week tune in Wednesdays and Fridays. Plenty of high level play. And you have phenomenal casters like JDZ coming.
Oh yeah. So Bad Vegas contemplating their ink here, seeing a Smee come down. So ink in a fort. Are we just gonna ramp, or are we playing Jim again? Oh, visions. Different choice there.
So no ramp on turn 2 this time. Hopefully he's got the quill ready to go for this turn. Let's see. right now.
All right, Emerald Weapon here. So this is just going to be the aerial for the third time. 3 for 3 on aerial.
Pete.
That's preventing the sail or the visions or even another cannons as well.
You got to wonder if that was the only option in hand. I'm assuming if you had the aerial, you play the aerial there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the quill coming down for Bad Vegas?
It is. Note, I think 2 forts in the inkwell as well as a hidden card for a pop. So that's
who needs a fortisphere when you have a popsicle?
One is clearly inferior to the other. No, but that's pretty. This is picture perfect for Bad Vegas. You're not really too worried about the lore. The Pete is kind of annoying, but the Pete also this isn't usually a turn. I mean, outside of potentially a sail, because you're
or if you had a very
turn.
Aggressive early turn 1 and turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
There we see the Rapunzel coming down, drawing Emerald 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
Up questing for 3, putting him at 5 with the potential to go all the way to 10 on his following turn.
Yep. So now this is a little bit scary here for Bad Vegas.
Yep. And Bad Vegas has the option to start answering the board a bit, or slamming down that Flavershim or one of his other draw engines. But that's going to pose a bit of issue with not providing an immediate threat to board.
So you can like the Simba play is in line here with the quill, so that does answer at least the Smee. But again, though, Tink could be we can see Tink here. Tink kind of solves the board as well, and it's neither. It is Jim and
or Tamatoa. I think between all the games, he's only seen the inkwell.
Yep. So cannons to take out probably the Smee, I'm going to assume. Yep. So doing some damage controls. Both of those cannons have been quite impactful. Emerald Weapon here. Inking the Cinderella for a Daisy Duck.
Naveen. Hardcasting the Zeus.
Yep, hardcasting the Zeus on the Jim. And just turn it sideways. So we're saying, you know what?
Off to the races?
Yep, off to the races. 1 card in hand. We got a lot of batteries out there between Daisy. So that should be Ink for a Tink. Yep.
Ooh.
He's
got another Zeus, because that one might feel a little bad now.
Mm-hmm. What's that one? Or is there a Rapunzel in that one with that 1 card? It's a hood. I think on Emerald Weapon side, you kind of just have to go. I mean, you take out 2 characters next turn, no matter which way you do it.
Go to 13 here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
But then it depends. What do you like? Do you go with
No,
the Daisy?
he opted not to quest, passing his turn back.
Oh, that is quite interesting as well. Now this sets up an Arthur play, a big Arthur play. Or okay, no, gives him a turn
for the Flavershim.
Yep.
He said, if you're not going to quest, I'll take this turn to rebuild my hand.
Mm-hmm. One for another.
For
for a Fortisphere.
So third Fortisphere being shown here, 2 in the inkwell.
Mm-hmm. For another gem. So Bad Vegas was looking like they were in trouble for a bit, but they are fighting back.
Emerald Weapon has got to feel a little bit bad for blowing that Zeus on the Jim Hawkins here.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable in the moment, but he's going to start ramping into those larger characters, and I'm sure not having that answer for that Tinkerbell kind of prevented him from getting to 13, right?
Yep.
And from there, he could have potentially been that much closer to closing out the game, past those double digits. Oh, there's a strength.
So that takes out Tink.
Yep.
That's a
that
quite a play there. So now that should be
testing for
Daisy, and the card is a Tinkerbell back to
oh
hand.
no.
Oh, on a one, or I think on a.
That is not what he wants to see there.
No.
All that work to clear it and sent one right back. Gonna probably quest out here. Going to 14.
But the big thing to know with that though is that I think he's just say, you know what, present lethal and go. I think that's all you can do.
Card in hand, I believe, for Emerald Weapon.
Yep, 1 in hand for Emerald Weapon. I think 2 in hand for Bad Vegas. Now, how do you answer this board? So you can
Swords, ink something.
Swords, ink something, quill something, take out two things.
Probably Rapunzel.
It would have to be probably Rapunzel.
But
I would
then,
probably say Rapunzel Daisy
But then Robin Hood can eat.
Maybe you just do Rapunzel Hood in some way, but you need a swords. Absolutely need a swords.
Have we seen any Zeuses from Bad Vegas?
We have not. A lot more characters that we've seen, like with the tech options between the Simba, the Arthur, and obviously the Tinkerbells. No Cogsworths either.
No, a Tinkerbell would be nice initially, but I think it's going to be too slow.
Yep.
Obviously, Emerald Weapon's kind of running out of gas. 1 card in hand. Another Tamatoa going down into the inkwell. Continues to ink with the quill.
Yep.
What are we going to be dropping
Well,
here?
we're getting the +4 on Jim. So that'll take out the
Rapunzel.
No, because he has swords. Oh. So he went 4 there, so this will be 5 for swords to take out. Yep, the hood, and they don't get the draw. Flaversham takes out Daisy, or it should be Daisy. Yep, and Pete dies as well, or it's banished as well.
Well done.
Yep. So that's hellbent for Bad Vegas. So no cards in hand, and 1 in hand, soon to be 2. You want to know what card is the backbreaker right here?
Rapunzel. Rapunzel would get him right back into this. But I still think you take that line that Bad Vegas took regardless. Yeah, absolutely had to.
The game was over. So
Ooh,
now the only difference is though that Bad Vegas has a Hiram. So you probably quest immediately with Hiram, pop the fort.
Draw 2. And then at this point, see here.
Second swords is absolutely brutal right here.
Yeah.
So we're dividing up our ink here. Looks like we're sitting at 8. Oh, yep. As Emerald Weapon updates us. This could be. Oh, we do know there's a Tink in hand, so this could be the Tink. Oh, never mind. That's 8 for the Tamatoa.
There it
finally
is.
See a Tamatoa.
Our first Tamatoa coming down, grabs that Fortisphere back, immediately slams it down, drawing himself another card.
Yep.
Maybe Bad Vegas is starting to feel like he can build his board and start choking Emerald Weapon out of the game here.
Absolutely.
Again, with the availability of the Arthur, being able to challenge those ready characters, it does help out, right? Traditionally, Sapphire Steel doesn't have any like rush characters, ways to quickly interact with the board, clearing any bigger threats. Obviously, you have songs, but not everybody has been playing too many songs. Grab Your Swords being quite popular again. But let's see what Emerald Weapon chooses to do here.
Yep.
Quickly going through his discard.
Yeah, the Pete last turn bought them a turn for the most part. Naveen for a wheel, so Quill in the dime. So that was actually gonna be a scary turn next turn for Bad Vegas, but that Tamatoa will just be able to get the dime right back.
But as we mentioned earlier, now that you give Bad Vegas a full grip, he's able to kind of dig a little deeper. Potential for immediate board clear all over again. That Rapunzel does have the 3 damage on it. You're not going to be able to heal it this turn, but keeping those singers out, I think that's what Emerald Weapon needed to stay in the game.
Yeah, I agree. So will be interesting what they do. So do we, sitting at 5 ink, do you ink and play like something like a Smee to present more pressure at this point?
Yeah, you probably ink and continue to try to go wide. You've seen,
or maybe
grab your swords already.
Yeah, you've seen one. You know, there's at least a second one in the list somewhere. And you just gave him 7 cards, soon to be 8. Maybe you go like double Daisy or something like that, or do you go ink for Smee, and then that gives you like, yeah, that just presents lethal. So we're gonna play Be Our Guest. A fun card. Haven't seen that one in quite a minute.
Is he looking for a Rapunzel? What do you think he's? What's the best thing he could find here?
I feel like it's, yeah, I think of Rapunzel or
Daisy.
Daisy. Okay, that's an interesting choice. He may have had something higher in his hand when he played that, and so he wasn't able to play like a Smee or a double Daisy. Just to absolutely set up a chokehold on the game. So
Quest here.
That was this turn. Okay, so we are just setting up lethal.
Do you? Why not quest?
Yeah, I mean, if you're storming the gym. Yep, that's a good call. Giving you an extra card. So
let's see what kind.
So good defensive.
Bad Vegas, yeah.
That's a good play. It's a good defensive play by Emerald Weapon, because now this, depending on what's in Bad Vegas' hand, which again could be anything because it's 8 cards deep, soon to be, could be 10 cards deep in a second too. With so that could potentially make Tamatoa have to go into something instead of questing and getting probably that lucky dime back to play it again. Or maybe there's a second dime.
And Arthur would be pretty nice here too.
Arthur would be huge right here. Because then Arthur, you can give...
Or a Tink, grab your swords.
Classic. So I think... Yeah, you could do like an Arthur play where Arthur into... Give it to...
Flaversham.
Give it to Flaversham, yeah. And you save him. Take out the...
Finish off the Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I would take out the Naveen, personally.
Right?
With Arthur, at least.
Yeah.
But... It's neither here nor there. We'll see what the play is. We're mapping out our ink, though. We do have our ink kind of set up in a way that there is a plan here on Bad Vegas' side. But the board has to be answered because there's 5 lore on board, and
he only needs 4. All right, so we're going to dig a little deeper here. We are 10 cards deep between the Whole New World, the draw for the turn, and then Flaversham questing, popping the Photosphere, drawing an additional 2.
Singing, or just taking out the Rapunzel. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so there was no cute play. We're overthinking this, and it's like, you know what? We're just gonna just play stuff. Okay. Oh.
First we've seen of Ariel coming down. Yep.
So that Ariel will always be questing for 5. So that sets up an interesting play because there's a dime in the graveyard right now. That's 2 Ariels.
2 Ariels. You have officially put Emerald Weapon on a clock. Things need to be stopped. We know that there is a, in addition to the 2 Ariels, the Tamatoa on board there. We know that there's a dime.
Super lethal.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a dime in the discard pile as well.
Oh yeah, Lorthal. Yeah, it's not lethal. It's Lorthal in this game. So yeah, between the Ariel, that's 5, 2 Ariels, so that's 5, 10, and then you'll have 12, 13, grabbing a dime back, diming one of them for 18 exact Lorthal.
Oh man,
it's kind of wild.
If he pulls this off.
So Emerald Weapon is definitely going to tank a little bit here. those of you at keeping track at home, we do have 6 minutes left on the clock here. Don't know if we'll see quite a 6-minute tank turn here, but I've seen weirder things in this game.
Yep.
So what's the answer here? Like, obviously you can't attack the aerials. So I think, and you know that there's a dime in the yard, so you almost have to figure out a way to get rid of this Tamatoa.
He's used one Zeus already.
We know there's at least 3 in the deck.
Opting to ink a Cindy. Does he see the lethal? That's question number 1. I would assume yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Storm. Oh, we're digging. We are definitely digging.
3 damage on the Tamatoa within range of the Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Snipe the Tamatoa and flood your board.
Mm-hmm. There's Daisy. Based on that, I don't know if the Zeus is there.
Opting to sing another wheel to try to dig for it.
You could. Or you aerial if you have it. I mean, you have 5 ink. Do you be our guest for an aerial? We're singing something here. There's the Zeus. Okay.
There's the Zeus.
All right. So that takes care of the Tamatoa. So Lorthal is now gone. And
flooding the board, setting up for that next turn.
But it's also back on the board though for Emerald Weapon here.
Yep.
You don't know what's backbreaking right here is Pete. Pete is definitely a backbreaker right here.
4.
Oh, okay.
Getting 2 questers out.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to be able to. I don't know if Bad Vegas is going to be able to deal with this.
Passing it over. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Bad Vegas has a board to deal with now. There's a lot of health on that board. A lot of willpower. There's got to be some combination of clear Naveen and you got to clear Naveen and Daisy in some way. However that may be.
Where's that Arthur? Arthur needs to come online right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Arthur
1 aerial. Pump the aerial with the Arthur. Clear.
Top draw.
And run the other one into the Naveen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Emerald Weapon just look like they were in trouble and then they just grabbed the game right back. I think you need to we're digging.
That Zeus has been Along Came Zeus has been the MVP for
Emerald
Weapon,
it absolutely has been for Emerald Weapon.
It might be time to upgrade to all enchanteds, you know?
Mm-hmm. So Visions. It almost has to be like Zeus or no, not Zeus, like
Arthur.
Swords. Arthur sings Swords or something like that.
If these aerials had come online a turn earlier even, it would have potentially flipped the game around and put Emerald Weapon on the back foot. But that is not the case.
Yep. Okay, there's
the swords.
But I don't think it's an... Oh! A third Swords!
My goodness.
And that clears almost every...
Wow.
Oh, and the cannons for the... Wow, what a freaking play.
No.
What a play there by Bad Vegas.
That has to be devastating.
Yep.
And he still has ink to play with.
Yep. For a
Force Sphere.
Absolutely devastating turn there by Bad
Oh
Vegas.
my goodness.
Finding it all.
Right after we just said Emerald Weapon was able to bring it on back.
Oh, and we just go crazy wide right here. Quest for 5. Go to 8. And that is, once again, Lorthal on board for Bad Vegas. Wow. What a turn.
What a turn.
Man, I've been lucky to cast these crazy turns.
Yeah, what a great game 3.
Yeah, this was a fantastic game 3. Like, just going back and forth, these huge swingy turns. So,
what could he be trying to do? I don't know that he's able to deal with any of these warded characters on Bad Vegas's board. And I can't really see what he dropped on the side there. I'm assuming
it's a Chicha and a Smee.
Okay.
So I mean, so Tink answers a little bit, but I know I think there's one in the Inkwell. I think we've seen on Emerald Weapon side, or maybe we haven't even seen one yet. But and we are actually close to turns here. We have under a minute left to play. Yeah, strength does not matter. Big Cindy doesn't matter here. Like, you almost need wheel. What are we wheeling for? Just raw wheeling. Oh, so there's 2 dimes in the deck. Okay.
Yeah, that would have been Lorthal plus there with the extra dime.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're playing Smee and saying, Bad Vegas, do you know how to count?
Turning it back.
Should be quest for 5, quest for 10, quest for 2, and win, or just quest for the board.
There we go.
And say GG's in the chat. Well played. What a game.
Wow. Wow.
I'm
Quickly
sorry
changing
about the
sides
size
with that.
of the screen there.
Yeah, that was
I wish I noticed that sooner.
Quite crazy.
What a great round 3. That was incredibly exciting. So with Bad Vegas taking the win, they have taken it all.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Spectator.
Mute in on the browser.
The casters will be in here in a second.
We are here.
Okay. What's going on, guys? What a match. First off, congratulations, Bad Vegas. How did that one feel? That was definitely a crazy game 3.
Yeah, that was I don't even know. That was a crazy game. I basically just had to claw for very specific cards the last 3 turns.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what made you bring Sapphire Steel today?
It's basically all I've played since like set 2.
Okay. Comfort picks.
Yeah, pretty much.
To see it. We love to see it. No, but that was you piloted it amazingly well. Just and I loved your list. You know, some additions you had, like with the Arthur and the Simba, and then playing multiple dimes, which we didn't even see until the end of the third game, which was great. No, but that turn where Emerald Weapon had an absolutely insane board between the Rapunzel, the Daisy, and everything, and you literally, like you said, you found everything that you had to just piece it together. Like, how much of that did you have, and how much did you have to draw and figure out?
I had 1 swords at that point.
Okay.
So I drew to see what else I could find, and I drew into the second swords with the Hiram draw.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a vision in my hand, and I thought I need any of the cannons, a Tinkerbell, any 1 damage, and I can clear everything. And the visions found me the cannons.
Perfect. That was awesome.
Yep, that was great. Stefan, though, fantastic match. Like, that game 3 was definitely tight for sure.
Yeah, those are very close games.
And not only that, but taking it all the way back to game 1, you saw the hand that you needed, and then you kind of ended up getting stuck on that turn 3, right? You didn't find the ink. And how did you feel at that point? And then being able to not only find the ink later and ultimately take that game 1, but man, I will say edge of the seat for that turn, and then you were able to turn it around in that game 1. What was going on through your head?
Being stuck with a bunch of uninkables definitely sucks, but I held tight. I was just on the edge of my seat, probably as much as you were. Grabbed that ink, and was able to secure game 1, which felt really nice. I think the nature of the Steel Song deck is just truly high roll, so you're always living on the edge of your seat, and it just feels nice to see the cards that you need, and then to be able to sequence properly to secure the game. Felt great though. Felt great on game 1 for sure.
Yeah, game 1 was really solid too, and then there was the turn where you think you double Zeused. I believe it was. I think it was the Simba.
Yeah.
It was the Simba, yeah. So it was just seeing like those 3 Simbas, like super, like you saw one. I think you hit one off an aerial.
The 3 Zeus's,
yeah, the 3 Zeus's in a row. That, like you said, like it's a very high roll. Like that's just what the Amber Steel Song matchup, like the deck does. Like it finds what it has to find. Like you between the aerial. One card that I saw was interesting was Be Our Guest. So walk me through that one. That's a card we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, so I will be the first to admit this is not my list. I got this from Habibi, who's it felt really pressure to see him watching me pilot it, so I hope I did the deck justice. But for me, so like one of the things that really hurts with Ariel is when you are going through those top 4 and you're seeing characters that you really need in that situation. So I try to math it out a little bit and figure out, okay, this is probably a good time to play this, to try to get some characters. And I didn't. I mean, I pulled the Daisy for game 3 with it, which was good. It's a nice card to put at any point in the game. But in other games, like I've had a 1-drop Cinderella in play. I've played that, and then I find the Shift Cinderella, and that just seals the game. And if I would have played an aerial instead, then that one of Cinderella would have been at the bottom of my deck, and I would have never seen it for the rest of the game. So it's nice to see, to plan those plays out accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. No, but it was solid when you grabbed the Daisy at the end of game 3 because it presented almost a Lorthal board state. So one other question I have for you, Bad Vegas, was I think games 1 and games 2, I don't think you did it game 3, you elected mainly to play the gym on turn 2 and pass. Were you just electing not to ramp, or were you just kind of setting up for like the defense against like the Daisy, or just being able to like ink twice, whether it be with like Sail or Fishbone, to like double pump the gym?
Right. So this list is, in this list specifically, I mean, obviously Quill is better a lot of the time anyways, but in this list specifically, I want Quill on 3 almost every game.
Okay.
And Jim just before that is just like the perfect anti-aggro, and the fact that it just takes out a Daisy is a big plus. It's a very good card into Ember Steel.
Absolutely, and we got to see you play it very effectively. I know Emerald Weapon, you probably were a little bit frustrated there when you stormed the gym twice, and between the popsicle, it just would not go down, right? Felt like it was a pretty constant pressure from you, Bad Vegas, and I hope you guys are able to go back and rewatch, because I know I always do, go back through and rewatch your match. I want to say at the end of game 3 there, all the chat was going off like, oh my goodness, what a crazy game. But both of you played extremely well in that game 3. The back and forth, when the Tamato and the aerials were on the board, we're like, oh, he's presenting Lorthal, and then it immediately switched back with the Zeus clear for Emerald Weapon, and they're like, oh, okay, like this is another difficult board to deal with for Bad Vegas, and you guys were able to do it. Extremely well played for both of you. Incredible.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely very, very exciting set on both sides. So yeah, it was.
And with this win, this is not the end. Round 1, right? So we have a few more matches to play. I'm sure Illuminati is going to come back stronger than ever. But any shout outs, any socials you guys want to drop?
We can start with Bad Vegas, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, just shout out to the team, Inknights, on everything, and they were supporting me big. Before this, I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to make it because of work, but I was able to, and thanks to those.
Nice, awesome. Emerald Weapon, any shout outs?
Yeah, on our side, I'd like to thank the Team Illuminati for being able to constantly support each other through practice and strategy and just speaking from inward outward, the South Florida Lorcana network, where it's I kind of view it honestly as another team, right? A lot of strong players in that Discord and community. Just always theatercraft. There's always something going on all times of the day. So I love that. And then lastly, shout out to SSG, my new employer, who will continue to host some of the greatest Lorcana events in the off season. So follow us on socials there to see when the next big thing's happening.
Awesome, yeah. Like I say, congratulations both you guys. Like, I mean, it was a fantastic match. Truly one of the better matches we've seen in all of the ICL.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for giving us a great match to commentate.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, like that was about as good as we could have asked for sure. So, Brian, any shout outs for you? Any place people can follow you on social with that fresh Twitter account you just made?
Yeah, I just made a fresh Twitter account right after Lorcana After Dark. So check it out, Sploosh Magoo on Twitter, and then obviously check out Freedom Gaming TCG on YouTube. And we are super stoked to be here. For anybody coming down to the 10K and as well as the 5K next week, I hope to see you all there. Please come out. Let's chat a little bit and get some good games in.
Yep, absolutely. I'm very sad I'm missing it. I thought I was going to make it, but I'm unfortunately not able to. But you can follow me on Twitter at TheRealSisu. Again, same YouTube channel where we do our podcast. Other videos. And I have a Metafy too now, so you can follow me on Metafy as well. If you're looking for any Emerald Steel degeneracy, as I do love my discard and my green bird. So I think that's it. Luke, anything else you got for us?
Nah, you guys did great. Thanks everyone for watching that. And ads.
I believe they were talking about in the chat that they're going to be doing a DLC watch party, and the man himself, JDZ, will be commentating along with BB. So it is set to be pretty hype. Again, these gentlemen, everybody playing over in Australia, are 16 hours into the future. So they are grinding away, trying to get into the day 2, and keeping in mind that first place and second place get that Worlds invite. Still no dates, but hopefully soon, right? February 10th, we're set to get some announcements. Yeah, some spoilers. I got some planning to do, so please, RB, give us some dates.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching us. And I think we're going to throw it over to Luke now.
All right, bye. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, Habibi, you ready? JDZ.
Yes, sir.
Well, your